Hey guys. Good evening. Hey Nick, how are you, man? I'm doing well. Eric, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you to say that. I feel backwards. I've got my stuff all backwards, so bear with me. Hey, Red Star. Been a while. This live event is not sponsored by LaCroix. Just for the record. Hey guys, remember to hit the like button. It's helpful. Playing the old YouTube game, I guess. I guess that's what we're doing. I always forget. Here I am. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I watch a video that I like, and I forget to hit the like button. Hello from Boston. All right, let me kill this music. Actually, let me turn this up a bit. Let's just ease into this. What do you say? Yeah. Great speaker podcast today with Randy. Thank you. I certainly do appreciate that. We have a lot of fun doing those. I know it's different. I think that if given the choice, I think people would probably prefer a review. But we enjoy it. We have fun. Hey, Ron, a lot of hi-fi reviewers always talk about 2-channel power amps. Can you recall a multi-channel power amp solid state that sounded quite phenomenal for the price? Ryan, I'm not trying to dodge that question, and I know that there are some out there. That they do exist. The thing about it is I've never been big into home theater, and I've never been huge into multi-channel. And so I just haven't really messed around with any multi-channel power amplifiers. So I don't know. I don't honestly know what would be considered great out there. Have I tried Emotiva integrated amps? Jeffrey Y asks. No. No, I haven't. Should I? What do you guys think? Why wouldn't I think I should give them a go and see what's up. They recently reached out to me because they got some new subs. It's like an 11-inch sub, reference 11, R11 or something they want me to check out. So maybe I'll ask for some amps. Hey, Nick from Emotiva, if you're watching this, looks like you need to send me some amps. Red Star asks, "Oh, hello from the Philippines." Well, hello. What time is it where you're at? My goodness sakes. Red Star asks, "You're Mr. Open Baffle." That's true. So I got to ask, are you going to review any Pure Audio Project speakers? Say yes. Say yes. My next purchase is between Spatial and Pure Audio Project. I'm not going to avoid this question. Zeev is a great guy. We get along extremely well. And he has sent me a couple of his speakers, and they're just not for me. And that's okay. I'm not, look, he's going for a different thing than what I think I'm going for, and that's okay. It's fine. So, I don't think that you'll see any Pure Audio Project reviews from New Record Day, and I apologize for that. It's just not the tone or the sound the experience that I'm looking for in hi-fi. And that is the no BS, that is the honest to goodness truth. That's the truth of it. A lot of people love Pure Audio Project. I love the concept of Pure Audio Project, and he's got, kind of a cool idea with this modular type idea. I think that's interesting, and I think that a lot of people might dig that. But I'm just being straight up honest with you. I've tried to fall in love with those speakers, and it's just a different thing, and it's just not for me, and that's okay. We can all break bread and be cool about it. It's just not my cup of tea. I have a pair of spatial audio M1 Triode Masters. I love them. That is awesome. And when it comes to open baffle, spatial audio is one of those brands that is talked about a lot on my channel for a good reason, because that is my cup of tea. The older M3 was a fantastic loudspeaker. It's been surpassed in performance with the newer generation of the Sapphires, in my opinion. I think the top end is far more transparent. It's far more linear. It's everything about the top end is better, in my opinion. So, greetings from Scandinavia. Do you have any experience with Dolly speakers, retro models? No, I don't. In fact, I need to experience more Dolly speakers. I checked out the Oberons, and if you watch that review, that was an interesting one. It's a two-way tower. I have a tweeter and they have two woofers, and both those woofers are playing the same frequencies. And if I remember correctly, it was like 11 inches apart to the center of those two woofers. And so the phase relationship of the tweeter and the woofers is way off. And so you have this hole in the mid band, and it just wasn't my favorite speaker. But Dolly, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't a matter of we don't know what we're doing. They made a decision. That was their decision. And some people really dig it. And that's okay. I'm not here to tell you what to like. I'm just saying I have the right to not like certain things too. So that's the way that the cookie crumbles. Any experiences with Nelson Pass equipment? Yes, Scott. Yeah, I have. The F6 I spent time with, quite a bit of time with. It was a wonderful sounding amplifier. I'll have to reach out to Nelson and see what the heck he's got going on, and maybe get maybe another first watt amp in, or some pass amps in. I'll have to do that. Hey, you guys want to hear something exciting? This is something that gets me really excited. Eagle. Finally, Eagle wants to play. And tomorrow, I'm going to be patiently or impatiently waiting for the delivery of the H390 from Hegel. So I'll be spending time with that bad boy, and I'm excited for that. I used to have Infinity Kappas. They were good, but like my spatial audio. Yeah. You know what? Nothing wrong with the Kappas, actually. My brother picked up a pair of Kappas from thrift store, and dude, they're freaking awesome. They're great. Spend more than $50 on a USB cable, yay or nay? If you want to, go for it. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't do with your money. You earned it, not me. So if you want to spend 50 or more on a USB cable, then go for it, man. Got any comments on the upcoming reviews on Prima Luna integrated amps? Nothing yet, Jeff N. I have reached out to him, but unfortunately I haven't gotten a reply. So we'll see what happens. I just patiently wait, and then I send a little reminder like, hey, you. It's not just me, but there's almost 50,000 subscribers that are patiently waiting to hear about Prima Luna. Send me one, you bozos. I'm not. Nope, I'm not calling them bozos. That's a bad idea. Hi, Ron. I'm auditioning the Riga Brio and the PS Audio Sprout right now. Surprisingly, I think I'm digging the Sprout more. Wow, considering the price difference, I'm torn. Hey. Now, is that okay? So that's the Sprout 2, the Sprout 100. Yeah, I actually liked the Sprout 100 quite a bit more than the original Sprout. One smart move they made was they ditched the bump at 80 that the original Sprout had. That was a smart doing that. It's more linear of a presentation. Hey, Ron, finally made it to a live chat. Love the channel. Any thoughts or tips on off the grid or DC battery powered audio? Thanks a million. Jonathan, yes. Yes is the answer to any question that you ask involving that. I think that it's fascinating. I think that anything that I have tried so far has been very good. Um, it breaks my heart that we don't see the Leo anymore. That Vinny Rossi, one of the sweetest guys in the industry, a dear friend, he's moved on to bigger and brighter things that are quite a bit more costlier. It's a little bit rich for my blood, but the Leo used ultra caps, and mine is sitting underneath the camera right now. I'm actually selling it, and that's after a decade. A decade, like close. No, not a decade. I'm exaggerating. Like 5 years, 6 years, 5 or 6 years, long time. Um, anyhow, yes. Another thing that you can look for, Jonathan, just to be thorough in answering your question, is Dodd Audio. Okay. Now, this is going to have a cult following. That was developed by a gentleman by the name of Gary Dodd. He passed away. Rest in peace, Gary. And he was a brilliant designer that did everything off the grid. Well, most everything off the grid. That's what he was known for. So preamps, power amps, DACs, phono stages. And I've been collecting those pieces myself. They're kind of hard to find, but if you are patient on audiocircle.com, they have a buy and use section there. You can pick up some of those pieces and they're not terribly expensive. So I would encourage you to consider that. DMS, one of my dear friends, DMS. If you're not subscribed to DMS, make sure you subscribe twice to his channel. Click on the subscribe button twice, and a little prize comes out. He says, I'm in the midst of editing. Don't do that because then you would just unsubscribe. Don't do that. Just subscribe one time. In the midst of editing, another shout out to your LOTS. That is loudspeaker optimization techniques for soundstage video. And I get the notification that you're live. Ron, you're the monk on top of a mountain who knows all for speakers. DMS, the check is in the mail. I appreciate you saying that. Here's the thing. I'm just crazy. I just experiment a lot and I obsess about it a lot. And I think with lots, I got something right. I think I got lucky on that one. So I appreciate the shout out. If you don't know what lots is, there is a video that I did about setting up your speakers. It's very different than any other speaker setup tutorial out there. And what I like the most about it is it teaches you what sounds wrong immediately. And then when you hear something right, it's very obvious. So give it a shot. Thank you, DMS. Appreciate it. Love you, buddy. Philip, what's your take on the Bro 3s? You weren't smoking crack when you listened, I hope. Cheap man was evidently. Yeah, man, Randy's gotten some flack for his thoughts on the Bro 3s. I think he said he was missing some clarity out of the Bro 3s, which the Bro 8s and the Bro 3s do sound a little bit different, which was the first surprise. Generally, when you're talking about like family to family, you see consistency, right? Because if you're building like a home theater and you did some Bro 8s up front and some Bro 3s in the back, it should all sound exactly the same, if not exactly like super, super, super close. And they measure different. Disclaimer, I've gotten a lot better about measurements when I did the Bro 8 versus the Bro 3, but they do measure different. The voicing seems to be a little bit different. There is a bit of an elevation on the top end. I wouldn't say that it is offensive, in my opinion. And a lot of times what we see with that elevation on the top end is it can be a bit gimmicky in that they're trying to win you over with a whole lot of extension to make you think, wow, this is a really detailed speaker. And for like the first 5 minutes, it is. And then you're done. You're like, okay, I can't listen to the speaker anymore. I wouldn't say that about the Bro 3s. There is a slight elevation, but I think they're kind of riding that line of being a detail-centric speaker. I'm getting a decent amount of clarity out of mine, so I haven't decided. But if you're flat out asking, do I like the Bro 3s? The answer is yes, I do. I like them. Just built some ecstatics from Danny. Have you heard them? Texas Pledge. No, I have not. That is a speaker that has escaped me, and I wish that it didn't. I wish I could check it out and yeah, hear what it's all about. Regular audio guy. Right on, Ron. Well, right on to you, regular audio guy. Best streamer you have tried to date? The best streamer. Hmm. I'm not really all that well versed on streamers, to be frank with you. And of the ones I've tried, I kind of feel like we're picking flies out of horse turds, man. I mean, they all kind of sound the same to me. Um, what happens after the streamer can make some changes, and what you're feeding the streamer can make some changes for sure. But the streamer itself, probably not the right person to ask. I haven't made up my mind on that, to be honest with you. I do like the little iFi. Oh, I got it. I got it right here. Speak of the devil. How convenient is that? This is the what is it? The iFi Zen Blue. I did this as like a little video where I did like great gifs for audio files. It's like 100 and some change. That's a nice little streamer, and I use it all the time. It's great. Sounds fantastic. Sounds like a streamer. If I hook up an 8 ohm speaker to 6 ohm tap on my tube integrated amp, would it sound better? Would it damage my amp or speakers? It will not damage anything. I think you should be fine. Will it sound better? Well, will it sound better than what? Do you have other taps on that tube amp? Is the 6 ohm tap the only tap that you have? And will it sound better is the question that I would ask you. You need to trust your ears, guys. You got to just, I see this all the time. It's like, Ron, is it going to sound better if I, well, you tell me. Like, play a track, listen to it, turn off the lights, listen to it, pay attention, focus. Then turn off the amp. Don't do this. don't do this live with a tube amp, or you're going to regret it. Turn off the amp. Change it to the other tap. Turn on the amp. Play it again. You tell me. Debating between the 600 PM and the fives. Any thoughts? I haven't heard the fives. I have spent time with the 600. The 600s. I don't think they're the PMs, are they? RP 600Ms. That's what they are. And they were not my favorite flavor of hi-fi ice cream, to be frank with you. I felt like they were missing quite a bit of clarity throughout the upper mid-range. I felt like the top end was hyped up to the point where things start to get a little bit too crispy for my liking. And that's just my opinion. And then when it comes to bass on the RP600Ms, I had a hard time getting a whole lot of texture and tone out of that driver. I could hear the notes, and yeah, it was able to play actually surprisingly low. So that was something where I tried to share a positive about them, but I can't say that I heard a lot of texture and tone. By the way, on my screen, I don't think that I'm synced up here. Something does look funky. And I had a patron reach out to me and was like, hey, when you do your live streams, you're not synced up, and it drives me crazy. And now that I'm seeing it, it's driving me crazy. So thanks a lot. Is that a spring deck above you, behind you, above the May? That guy right there? Yeah. Spring 2. Syncster box. And I'm going to tell you guys which one I like more and why. Should you just get a spring 2? Find out. I'll let you know. Anyone else seeing the video delayed? There we go. Yeah. So I think I am delayed. I'm sorry about that. All right, let's take a look here. Would you be able to show us what actually happens with speakers and different placements? Would be nice to see an actual recording of what happens when you put the speakers in the corner, front wall, etc. Yeah. This is an idea that I've had, and I don't know if the mics are going to pick up everything that I would report, but I've thought about, why don't I do a review with the speaker slammed up against the wall and then perform lots and let you know the differences that I hear using the exact same gear and what a lot of people would think is just the right way to set up gear versus the way that I set up speakers, where I pull them out into the room and I perform lots. That is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and there will be a video about that sometime in the near future, hopefully in the next 4 to 48 weeks. Have you listened to the Infinity Reference 162 speakers? No, I have not. How do you feel about using standard bookshelf speaker as a center channel to avoid horizontal off-axis drop-off? How do you feel about using a standard bookshelf speaker as a center channel to avoid horizontal off-axis drop-off? That's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure, go for it. That's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Have you heard of Pure Audio Project? If so, could you compare it? Scroll to the beginning of the video. Somebody asked a question about Pure Audio Project, and I kind of shared some thoughts on that. So that's that. Ron, a couple of years ago, someone had a conference at RMAF where he was pitching a device that would convert the grid AC to DC, then back to AC. He claimed that was the answer. Where is it today? I'm such a jerk. What? Yes. Come here, stinker. All right. So it's going to be the Ron and Ellie show for a minute here. So mom can use the restroom. Yeah. So my question is, well, where did it go? If that was the answer, then like how big of an answer was it? That's hilarious. Have you tried Ottervana? No. I have a friend that is a huge fan of Ottervana and uses it religiously with a modified MacBook Pro, and he swears by that. And he has many, many friends and colleagues that do the same thing, and they also swear by it. And that is something that I would love to try. So I'd like to. The biggest thing that I don't like about my Zenith is that I can't load what I want onto it. I want to load Ottervana on the Zenith, and Nuos, if you're listening, listen. More people would buy your product if it was more flexible and you could load whatever you want on it. Like, hey, your software is great and all, but give options. Don't make us choose. Give us options. Oh, noodle arms. All right. Whew. That was a workout. Have you any insight on the new B&W 800 series? I've heard they're coming out soon. No. But since B&W has now been acquired by Sound United, I should be able to get my hands on B&W products, which will be great. What do you think of the Dali Rubicon 2? I don't. I've never messed with it, so I don't know. I'm sorry, Fernando. I've never spent time with the Rubicon, so I can't say. Any chance you're near DFW? Been consider building some ecstatics? Would love to give them to you. Would love to give them a listen before I buy. No, I am in Arizona. I'm in neighboring Mesa and Phoenix in Arizona. I just ordered a Freya Plus to go with my UB52. Is there a balanced power amp that you would recommend with those? Yes, there's a lot of different power amps, balanced power amps that I'd recommend. What are you doing, little guy? Yeah, he's like, forget you, mom. I'm gonna go do this live stream with dad. It's so much better. So you can get away with 2 Aegers, and I know that's a lot. Like, yeah, you're dropping some coin at that point. Another option would be to consider doing the Encore NC400 monoblock kit. That would be a good idea. That is a do-it-yourself kit that you can actually build, and it's actually pretty easy to do. My son's right behind me, so I'm just keeping an eye on him. In fact, I did a video a long time ago, and I think it's still on their site, of me putting one together, and you can watch that. But here's the deal. you don't even need to do any soldering anymore with that kit. That would be a smart choice. Super easy to do. You could build it in an evening. It's that simple. It's so easy to put together. Um, you're barely off sync here in Oregon. Good to hear. Oh, another one is the Purify amp. The Purify stuff is fantastic. They've got the eval kits that you can get from Purify, and that's also, what's his name? Bruno? I can't believe I forgot his name. I think it's Bruno. Yeah, he's like a genius, mad genius. He has some eval kits that you can get from Purify's site. I think it's Purify Hi-Fi or Purify Audio. And I've been auditioning. That review is supposed to be out this week. It's actually for these speakers right here. These are also Purify speakers. And Sarah was sick all day today. She had a really bad migraine. So this review is a little bit delayed, but it should be out pretty soon. It'll be out next. And I'll be covering the amp, not as much with the amp, but I'll be covering the speakers for sure. But I'm going to give a nod to the amp and let you know what it is and what it's all about. But that would be another killer amp to use with the Freya Plus. And I've been doing it and it's great. What do you think of pairing the Heagle 120 with vintage clipped horns? Why not? I mean, I haven't spent time with Heagle amps until tomorrow. I'm so excited. H390 at my house tomorrow. Everybody's invited. Come on over. All 50,000 of you. Just park yourself in the listening room. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're asking me this, is there anything wrong with putting high power amplification on sensitive speakers? The answer is no. It's fine. You can certainly do it. The other way around can be problematic is if you're talking about speakers that are not so sensitive or low on impedance, hard on an amplifier to drive, and you've got a little wimpy amplifier, that can be a challenge. Don't want to go that direction. That's a bad direction to go. What would you tell all the audio enthusiasts who seem happy with their AV receivers to buy a dedicated? What would you tell all the audio enthusiasts who seem happy with their AV receivers to buy a dedicated integrated 2-channel amp? Is there much of a difference? What are they missing out on? Luke, that's a great question. I'm going to talk to you the way that I would talk to a friend. If you're happy, then you're happy. Okay? Honestly, that's it. Like that's the beginning and the end of a friendly conversation is, dude, if you're finding enjoyment in your system, then don't worry about it. It's for all of us other knuckleheads that aren't so happy no matter what. And we lay in bed looking up at the ceiling and our wife thinks that we're thinking about another girl or whatever. And we're like, I really need another amplifier. I wonder what tubes would sound like. Dang it, I should have gotten the tube amplifier. That's what we're really thinking. Let's be honest. Parasound A21 or a pair of shit Aegers? Ooh, two different animals there. What do you think would personally prefer with a set of Tecton lures? Well, now that's interesting because the Tecton lures are quite sensitive, so you could go either direction. I have a really good friend of mine who is a New Record Day subscriber, patron, awesome dude that has one Aeger with his Tecton lures, and he freaking loves it. Loves it. Wishes that they had just a little more, yeah. And I have a feeling that if you had two of them, then you would have a little bit more, yeah. So that tells you something. Like he's a big fan of that rig. Parasound A21 is no slouch. I have a feeling that you're going to have more dynamics on tap than you will know what to do with. It's going to be a powerhouse of an amplifier. So either one is great. I think that it's hard to predict what the tone difference would be between those two. I have a feeling that the A21 might be a bit more squeaky clean, a little bit more analytical, whereas the Aegers are probably going to have a little bit more bloom and a little bit more tube-ish or class A-ish type sound. That's my guess. after spending as much time as I have with the agers, because that's what they do. Is they just do some bloom, and it's just very nice. It's really, really great. Clips just released the Forte 4. Do you suppose they used any of Danny's thoughts on the new crossover design? Pat, I don't know. I if I was to be honest with you, I doubt it. I don't think that's their philosophy. I don't think that that's what they're going for. Um, Anything that I have seen or heard of a lot of those clip speakers is they are a colored sounding speaker. They are they are a specific flavor of ice cream, and you're either gonna like it or you're not. So I don't think that they're going to go in and go for the most linear response possible. I don't think they're gonna brace the heck out of the speaker to where they have, zero resonances from the box, any coloration from the box. I don't think they're gonna be going in that direction because it's just not what they do from what I've seen. On speaker placement, perhaps we should be looking at the research that was done by Roy Allison, formerly of Acoustic Research. It was written in the AS Journal in the mid 1980s for sure. Okay. All right, buddy. Come here. Good night. I love you, little man. I love you. Can I say night night to everybody? This is my boy Elliot, my little guy. He's going to bed. He's being a punk tonight. Good night, everybody. Tubes rule. Rock and roll. The Who is better than Led Zeppelin? Nope. 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 Not gonna have that conversation. Ellie said it, not me. What the heck, guys? Let's see here. I just hooked up my 8 ohm speakers to the 6 ohm tap on my tube. I'm currently listening to the setup. To me, it sounds better. Thanks, guys. There we go. Beautiful. Randy just texted me. Did you send me the Panda podcast? I don't. I think so. Hang on, guys. I think so. Okay, sorry. Switch your water. The brand you're drinking was found to have a type of incesticide in it. LaCroix has incesticide in it? I ain't drinking that. That's crazy. That's insane. All right, let's take a look here. Nice meze set. Can you review black rhodium cables? Maybe. Maybe. I assume that they sell black rhodium cables with these. I don't know if I would do a review of a cable. We'll see. H590 is best. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But the H390, oh man, I'm just pumped. I'm pumped. I recently did a poll, you guys, on the community page. By the way, YouTube, the way that YouTube allows me to communicate with you guys is not the best, and the community page is the way that I talk to you guys. And in the community page, I can do polls. And I did a poll asking how much would you be willing to spend on a pair of speakers with a whole bunch of options? How much are you willing to spend on amplifiers with a whole bunch of options? How much are you willing to spend on acoustic treatment with a whole bunch of options? I want everybody to hear this. Please, if you give a rip about New Record Day, go there. Remember, mark it down. Go there and vote. I'm collecting data. I want to get to know my audience and figure out what are they really actually willing to buy, because that might help me gauge what I should be focusing my attention on the most. Best amp for a Harbeth P3 ESR below $1,000. Integrated amplifier? Good question. I feel like a Harbeth needs all the love that it can get with air extension, something a bit more forward sounding, a little bit more brilliance on top. I might reach for a Yamaha. I might reach for the Iota VX with the separate power amplifier PA3 connected to it. That's got some brilliance on top, and that might help. That might be a killer little rig. You might want to give that a try. And that would be under $1,000. Ron, my friend, please equalize the audio between you and the cheap audio man on your podcast. You're loud and he's low. Too hard to listen. Love you. Okay. Yeah, I saw a couple of comments on there. What it is, here's what it is I think that he is starting to settle into his role as a to be taken seriously audio reviewer, even though he has a lot of fun on his channel and he does. And I think that as his confidence grows, so will his confidence of, hey, bro, bring that microphone right up over here. People want to hear you. It's okay. You're the man. People came to listen to you. So talk to the microphone. But we'll get it down. We'll get it down. I have an additional arm that I need to meld to him so he can do this and like, hey, get that mic up. Just this is the way you do it. It's easy as that. All right, let's take a look here. How is the sound on the shit Vidar? Deep bass? I don't know. I haven't spent time with the Vidar. I need to. Ron, how are you doing? What's the best value for money in speakers brand? Wow. I'm doing well. That's a big loaded question. What's the best value for money in speakers? Elac. If we're not talking about do it yourself, I believe that Elac is probably the winner of that ball game. I think they win that ball game every time. Andrew Jones. It's like, yeah, I win. Ha ha. I win. When it comes to reproducing electric guitar, do you have a few favorite floor standers? Yes, the NX Atticas. Obviously, those are a different animal. They are do-it-yourself open baffle loudspeakers. They are my favorite speaker at rendering the sound of an electric guitar. I think they do it better than every single speaker that I have ever heard, ever. Period. I genuinely, no hyperbole, I feel that way. When I hear electric guitar on the Atticas, I'm like, that's perfection. That's incredible. Past that, I would say the Concept 500s are very good. Very, very good. Maybe a little more relaxed, not quite as much presence in the electric guitar, but my goodness sakes, fantastic, incredible. Both of those are mind-blowing good. Let's just take a look here. How old is he? We have a 1-year-old. Chris, congratulations. Elliot and Natalie are our twins, and they are a year and a couple of months. So, yeah, about the same age as yours. Let's go to the park tomorrow. Hang out. Let's let the kids go to the park and we'll go listen to music. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. In 5 years' time, ELAC will be celebrating their 100th anniversary. Wow. What do you think about Andrew? Oh, wow. What do you think Andrew should produce to commemorate this special occasion? Andrew Jones, I'm going to call you out. Okay. A Dante didn't go as planned. Let's just it's nowhere to be found anymore. Okay. I want you to build the best the best up to no more than $5,000 loudspeaker that you can build. That's the challenge. Go. I want you to do that. Impress us. What can you do? Give us the best. Give us your best, Andrew, under $5,000. Is it okay to use 2 power amps instead of high-end power amp for my audio system? Would it be okay? I mean, on sound reproduction. Use power amps. If you're talking about biamping 2 different power amps, yes. But if we're talking about 2 different power amps and you're biamping, and I think that's what you're asking, you need to understand that power amps have their own separate gain. So there is a gain factor inside of each power amp. And if you couple those together, you're going to have a mismatch in gain. And so not the best idea. If they are the same power amps and just lower power and you're using them in a biamp type situation, then go bananas. That's a great idea. Definitely. Eric Berntsen. He's a dear friend of mine. Lives right down the road. You guys want to hear something about Eric? I genuinely believe that he is the reason that I got into vinyl. Like I really got into vinyl. I think it was because of that man right there. It's true. I heard Led Zeppelin 2, the Ludwig pressing. And I came home and I said to my wife, "Hey wife, we need to get a serious turntable." And she's like, "Okay, ask one of your friends if they'll give you like a cheap one for free." And I said, "Thank you, dear. We'll do that. We'll start there." Jeremy Mitchell, another good friend. Hola. Hola to you, my friend. Let's just take a look here. Sorry, this thing, man, I wish everybody had a YouTube channel so they could see just how crummy the live chat is. Because you're just reading, it's smooth, and it just goes boom. And it's like, well, why did you do that? Now I got to go back and figure out where I was. It's a pain. You should go on someone else's podcast. Laugh out loud. Jason W. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not subscribed to the Intellectual People podcast, go do it. Go do it. Unfortunately, they made the mistake of having me on the podcast. And so after they air that episode, I think they're going to have to consider changing the name to something different, more appropriate. Maybe the Intellectual People podcast with one episode with Ron. That might work. You could probably get away with that. Let's take a look here. You should do an audio file reverb review. Do it. Okay, I'll consider that. I'd love to see more kit speaker reviews, particularly interested in the Whelmslow LS3 and the new Falcon kit. Hey, T-Town Scott, shoot me those links in my email because I haven't heard of either of those. So let's just take a look at those. Did I hear you say that you live in Mesa, Arizona? Jake J, that depends. Are you a weirdo? If you're not a weirdo, then yes, I do. Gilbert, Mesa area. Yeah. Get your mic out of the shot. Okay, well, if I do that, see, now this doesn't work. You gotta just be friends with this microphone. All right, done trolling. Let's just take a look here. Bye, Eric. Or you can stay. You can stay, bro. You need to come over for dinner, by the way, Eric. I'm still waiting on the COVID vaccine acceptance poll. I don't think I'm going to do any polls on COVID. Oh, man. What is the difference between tube wattage and solid state wattage? I think that the difference is going to come down to current. Somebody smarter than me, start typing. Start typing. I just fake it till I make it. Benny K's bandwidth. Another YouTube hi-fi reviewer. Go subscribe. Subscribe 3 times to Benny's channel. Go for it. Why not? Help us out. Thank you, beautiful baby. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Ron. Is it okay to use 2 units of professional power amplifier instead of high-end power amplifier, would it be okay? I mean, regarding the sound's reproduction. Thanks a lot. Yes, sub-annihilation, it would be just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to hurt anything. I'm going to drink my incesticide water. I just learned that tonight, that this is incesticide water. So we'll see how this goes. Jonathan is asking, he's going to get me in trouble with his question. Interesting YouTube channel by Greg Weaver called the Audio Analyst. Thoughts or opinions, Ron? I watched a couple episodes. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a nice guy. Nice enough dude. I haven't been back. Not for any specific. That sounds mean. I'm busy. I'm very busy. And I try to watch as much stuff as I can, but I miss a lot. And I wish I had more time to check out these channels and see what everybody's doing. But I have no problems with what Greg Weaver is doing. No problems. I wish you would pull the speakers deeper into the room. Those Von Schweikerts. Oh, boy. Yeah. Let's take a look here. What would be the next logical step up from the Shit Manny phono preamp below 1K if slightly over? How about this? I just got in a super chat. It says PHP 249. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you to whoever that is. That means a lot. So, Shit Manny phono preamp below 1K. Here's what I would do. I would get on AudioGone or Audio Circle, and I would search Manly Chinook tube phono, and I would be on the hunt for one of those. Might be a little more than $1,000, but that would be my pick at that asking price. That's what I would be doing. Just stopping by to say I enjoy your channel, and I'm envious of your ability to readily discern differences and convey your insights. JD, thank you so much. I make it all up. You guys keep listening, so I'll just keep doing it. Everybody's stunned. What did he just say? Did he say he's making it all up? Yeah. No, I'm not. I try to be as genuine as I can. All right. Scrolling back up because the interface is wonky. I liked the Dantes. Brian, I didn't like the Dantes. I loved the Dantes. I loved them. It's a shame. It really is. I've been using an EL84 based tube amp for the last 13 to 14 years and have been thinking about going back to solid state. Am I crazy? Christian, you are. Of all of the tubes out there, EL84s, man. Woo. I remember the amps and sound, the little EL84 based amps and sound amp that I reviewed. That thing was just freaking bonkers good. Yeah, no, you are crazy. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Well, we will all be disappointed if you go solid state. Everybody will. You will let everybody down. So you now have the weight of that hanging on your shoulders. You got a fantastic GR Research XLS Encore review. Thank you. I wanted to build them. What amps would be the best bet with those? Here's the thing. XLS Encore is not a difficult speaker to drive. So you can do tubes. You don't need a ton of current, wattage, power, et cetera, to wake up an Encore. If you were talking tube amps as little as 10, 15, 20, somewhere in there, you'd be just fine. You'd be fine. So, yeah. Why don't the Emotiva B1 Plus speakers get more love? They're better than the same priced Elacs, in my opinion. Thoughts? It's a good question, man. Nemo, I don't know. I need to spend more time with the Emotiva stuff. The speakers that I got in that I reviewed, what were they? I don't even remember. Those big towers, T2 Plus. They were good. I mean, for the money, as long as you're not pointing those at your ears because they will rip your freaking head off, as long as you're just having them face forward into the room, they're fine. And you can cover a lot of ground with those. And man, they bring the punch to the party. It's like that is a killer tower for everything. I mean, I think that they are very smart with what they're doing in terms of home theater, music, a little bit of both. You want to dance in both arenas? That's a great speaker to do it with. Ah. So, one of my best friends in the whole world, his name is Sean. He's asking Ron, if Doran were to make an audio setup, do you think he would use Kratos 6X9s and a pyramid amps or question mark? Doran is a mythical character that I created many, many eons ago in a game called Ashron's Call when I used to play MMORPGs. Is that what they are? And Sean also played them with me. We were two buddies down in basements. That's hilarious. Oh man, that one got to me. Hey Ron, is there an issue with using something like a FIO BTR3K? I don't know what that is. Portable DAC amp as a main DAC for purpose other than headphones. Currently using it for movies with my pair of AI40s. Michael Wolf, if it works, is it working? Then there's nothing wrong with it. If it works, it works. And if you're happy, you're happy. Then cool. Sounds good. Let's celebrate. It sounds to me like it's working. I'm not familiar with that guy. Sounds like it's working the way that you want it to be working. Is something wrong? That would be my question. Nicholas, I have the XLS and I use the PS Audio Sprout 100. Highly recommended the combo. That makes sense. That would be a smart combo. That would be talk about just a simple, beautiful little rig. It's not going to get much better than that. That's a killer little combo. Hey Ron, how did the Eloc Unifi 2.0 sound with the IOTA VX SA3? I was thinking of going with that combo or possibly pairing the Elocs with the Sprout 100. I think it would be better with the Sprout 100. The IOTA VX SA3 has a top end that it doesn't deserve. And I've said that many times on my channel. What I mean by that is you've got some brilliance up there. You've got some air. You've got some extension. You've got some stuff on top that it's just about pairing that with the right speakers. And when you do, you are rewarded. But I think that with the clarity that you are going to be rewarded with the Unifi 2.0s, I don't think that's going to be the best match in the world. I think the Sprout 100 is going to be a better match. Hey, what music streaming services do you use? I use both Qobuz and Tidal. Have you heard of the Ignact Class D amps? No, I haven't. Howdy from the Texas Hill Country. Howdy to you. All right, let's take a look here. All right, I got to back up. Ron, speaking of interesting channels, are you a fan of Zeos Pantera? Yes, I am. I am a fan. I don't watch his reviews. I really don't. But I admire his work ethics, that he's been doing this as long as I have, and he's just killing it, in terms of subscribers and getting videos out and say what you want about Zeos, but the man has integrity. He has integrity, and I respect that. That's what I think about him. I just wish he wouldn't cuss so much. Come on, man. Think of a creative word. Stop cussing so much. What's the best subwoofer you don't have to build that offers the best bass impact, not just low bass impact? I don't know, Mike. Emotiva is sending me out some subs that I'm going to be experimenting with. I would imagine that SVS, the offerings from SVS, is probably where I'm going to point you to. What is it? The SB 3000 PB3000, whatever their sealed box is. If you're going to be doing it for music, I assume you are, then that would be the way that I would go. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you so much, Sub Annihilation. Your opinion on the Proact speakers. Have you had the chance to listen to their DT8s? No, I haven't. I would love to check out Proact. All right, time to drink my water with what's in here, guys? I forget. Incesticides. Tastes like orange flavored incesticides. Not too bad. Living in a small place, I'd like to combine the speakers for use with home theater and my 2-channel. Does a speaker switch box kill the quality of the audio? Victor, you're going to have to try. I don't know, because I don't know which box you're talking about. I probably haven't spent time with it. I am of the opinion, because I'm crazy and I'm an audiophile, I'm a card carrying audiophile, that putting things in the signal path, when you can avoid that, you should. But you're going to have to experiment and give it a go. Key to success is sincerity. Once you have that faked, you're good. It's true. It's true. Hi, Ron. What is the longest setup lineup that you have settled on? System, amp, turntable, speakers. Vinny Rossi Leo. It's beat everything that I've ever had, and I'm finally selling it. It's been a friend for a long time. The Anthony Gallo 3.1 reference would be close second, and Atticas would be up there. Proudly adding to that list would be the Spatial M3 Sapphires. Those are keepers. If I had all the money in the world, Maydek, it wouldn't be going anywhere. That would be part of my rig. Inuos Zenith, I own. That is part of my rig. I would, without blinking, I would get the Q Acoustics Concept 500s as a speaker that I would use as a boxed speaker. It is currently the king of the hill in terms of a traditional boxed speaker. It's my favorite. By the way, Eric. Oh, no, yeah. No, Eric, yeah, you've heard him. I was going to say, you need to come over and check those out, but you've heard them and you liked them. All right, let's take a look here. I got to see a Dante prototypes at Elec's office. Amazing. Yeah. What he did with the Dante was mind-numbing. Like, crazy smart. Really, a lot of complexities going on with that speaker. All right, let's take a look here. Hey, Nemo, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, buddy. Really appreciate that. That's very kind. Really means a lot. All right, backing up. Sorry. It's not my fault. It's YouTube. All right, let's take a look here. I haven't frozen. I'm just looking. Sorry. I want to make sure I'm thorough here. All right, between the NX Studios, Atticas, or Extremes, which would you choose for music production monitoring? My NX Studios are on back order, but wondering if bigger would be better. Good night, Ron. Jonathan, if you're mixing, which I'm familiar with, if you're like in the studio mixing and you are trying to stuff big O giant open baffle speakers in that environment, you're going to need a minimum of 3 feet behind them. Minimum. So I would say the NX Studios make the most sense. You can get them closer to a wall without, killing the sound. I don't recommend that you do, and I think you should still give them room to breathe. But I would stick with the NX Studios. Don't go with the big boys. That doesn't make any sense. Ron, please review KC62 KC62 sub. Looks interesting. I agree. I've already requested it. I hope it happens. If you guys had a chance to watch the Kef review that I did, I don't know. Look, you guys get it, right? You guys get it. I hope Kef is like, let's send him the sub. Let's keep working with Ron. I hope. All right. You should review some single driver speakers like Omega. I've reached out to Omega a number of times. I've lost count, and he doesn't return any of my emails. So at this point, it's honestly his loss. If he doesn't want to work with me, I've tried. I've tried many times. I've given up. I wish he would. I really do. His speakers look cool. Oh yeah, I'm voting for some Zoo reviews. Zoo Audio. That's another company that I would love to check out their stuff and see what they're doing. You said the GR Research NX Studio speakers are better than the XLS, which they are. I do think so. Is there anything the XLS does better? No. Do the XLS have deeper bass and so less dependent on a subwoofer? I can't remember. I can't remember how deep the monitors go. They are sealed. Can't remember what the drop off is on those. You might be able to dig down a little bit lower with the XLS, maybe. Reach out and ask Danny. I don't know. When I heard him, excuse me, guys, when I heard him back to back, I felt like it was a fair fight. If you were to choose between REL T9i versus SVS SB300 3000 Pro, which one will you prefer? I've never heard the REL T9i, so I don't know. I have heard the SVSs many times, and they're fantastic, but I can't say. I don't know. I'm not too sure. How does the shit Gunger multi-bit compare to the Holo Audio Spring? James, I don't know. I haven't done any A/B comparisons, so I can't say. I don't watch Zeos because of his foul mouth. He does have a foul mouth. Stop cussing so much, Zeos. Stop it. I'm waiting on the studios as well, but I have heard Danny's in Extremes, and they are magnificent. No doubt about that. The in Extremes will blow your mind. I doubt that you could do much better, but you still have to wait since mid drivers are out. Yes, that is true. Sorry, it jumped ahead of me. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. Ron SB is sealed box, PB is ported box. That makes sense. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Incesticides. That reminds me, I'm thirsty. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Orange incesticides. Here we go. Chance, any possibility of doing an SVS Ultra Tower review? Yeah, I could do that. I could reach out and I could make that happen. What is the best way to set up two subs with two bookshelf speakers so the subs don't distract from the music? Have moved them out from the corners. Okay. Michael, that's a lot to unpack. I feel like I need to do a video about that. I'm going to do a video about that. That's on my radar. I need to do basically lots, but for subs. Now that you taught us how to get soundstage and get these speakers dancing, what do we do with our subs? That's a darn good question. And I'm going to help you figure that out. Almost the same thing as lots. I'll give you a little nugget. Couple small differences, but almost the same thing. What are your thoughts on the shit Ragnarok? Nicholas, I've never heard the shit Ragnarok. No thoughts. Don't know. I don't like to BS in these videos. I'm like one of these guys like, oh yeah, I heard it, and the timbre on that is just brilliant. I have no idea. No clue. Eric, yes. You did like a speaker and you remember them and they were really good. Yes, that is correct. Hi, Ron. Share your thoughts and experience with filling bookshelf stands with sand. How is the sound affected? Um, it depends. It really does depend. And this, I guess you could say some folks would be like, "That's just snake oil. That's crazy. Speaker's not making that much vibration and to affect the stand." But um, it depends on the speaker, depends on the bass output and what's happening with the speaker, and it also depends on the stand. I remember I had the Bucard S300s on their stand, which was this really thin MDF, and I didn't fill it up with sand, and I played them, and I was getting some kind of a resonance in the stand, and I didn't notice it right away when I was doing the review. Later down the road, I filled the stands up with sand, and it made a big difference. And it seemed like it did clean up some of the muddiness that I was hearing, some of the resonances that I think I was hearing. So that would be a time when you want to consider it. I like putting I like putting sand in stands for a lot of reasons. One is just stability. I like the stands to be stable and heavy and heft, just on the ground. I've got kids and I don't want them to be knocked over easily. So there's a functional reason as well. And I think that's valid. All right, here we go. Have you tried the new Clips Forte 4 speakers? No, I haven't. Your review of the metas was the most honest of any review I've seen or read. Great job. Thank you so much, Mike. I like them a lot. They did a great job. This is one of my favorite closed back headphones of all time, and they're not crazy, crazy expensive. So, there's that. You're saying incesticide in a funny way, and I don't know if you know it. Ince- Am I saying inc- incesticide? Incesticide. Saying normal, Mike. If that's your name, Mike. Take a look here. Will you be doing a review between one of my buddies. Okay. All right, Eric, please messaging me, bro. It's driving me crazy. Um incesticide. I okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let's just take a look here. Now that you have a relationship with Kef, will you be able to try the reference line and LS50 wireless too? I hope so. I hope so. I hope I can get more stuff from Kef. I would love to. Absolutely. I would very much enjoy it. Um, let's just take a look here. Will you be doing a review between the Denafrips Terminator TAC and what was it? Oh, I got this thing just jumped on me. Dang it. Sorry guys, give me a second. Will you be doing a review between the Denafrips Terminator DAC and Kinky Studio Vision DAC 1? Both are from China with great reviews of their product. I already did a review of the Denafrips Terminator. It's a nice sounding DAC, and I thought it was remarkable. But the Maydac is cheaper. Okay. Comes with a remote. And to me, it best sit. I think it being honest, and that's always hard, to say that. It's like, Dinner Frips isn't gonna love me saying that, but it, you guys know me. Like honestly, when do I use the word better? You don't hear that in every single one of my reviews. And when I say, so the importance of when I say it, it means something. This is the best sounding DAC I've heard. Best. It's a king. The king is crowned. So come at me. Anybody. Send me a better DAC than that. because it's remarkable. Remarkable. Incredible. Hello again, Ron. If a person is an audiophile, does it mean he or she must be a lot of money to be able to have super expensive audio system like MBL? No, no. Sub annihilation, no. And you know what? I don't even know what the heck audiophile means anymore. Music enthusiast, audiophile, lover of gear. I do love gear. Yeah. You know, here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with just geeking out on gear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like I look at a tube amp and I'm like, well, that is beautiful. I look at a great looking turntable. That is beautiful. I look at the Maydach. That's beautiful. I look at a cool looking crossover with a whole bunch of fancy caps. That's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. Has nothing to do with spending a lot of money. Nothing to do with spending a lot of money. It's BS. I think that if you're obsessed with sound or you're interested in sound or you're obsessed with music or interested in music, welcome to the club. Insecticide. Insecticide. This is, ladies and gentlemen, don't drink this stuff because then you just start saying a whole bunch of stuff and then you regret it later. It's orange insecticide. I'm such a clown. Oh my goodness sakes. We have fun here at New Record Day. All right. Let's just take a look here. My own devices. Hey, look at that. We got another YouTube hi-fi reviewer in here. Go subscribe to My Own Devices. Just do it. Who cares? Just subscribe. Check them out. My Own Devices from St. Augustine, Florida here. How do you clean records? It's been a while since I've cleaned records, but I use the VPI Cyclone, and then I have a do-it-yourself-ish type of a 3D printed kit that I bought for an ultrasonic cleaner, and I use both of them. I do the ultrasonic first, and then I finish it on the Cyclone. That's how I clean my records. It's therapeutic. I enjoy it. When I clean records, it feels like therapy for some reason. And then I don't do it for 5 years. Look at this. This is like YouTube reviewer night. Home theater fanatics. I think that's what is it, Giles? I think if I'm getting that right, Giles, I believe. Go subscribe to Home Theater Fanatics. Guy's a trooper. Every time I get on YouTube or Facebook, it's live with Home Theater Fanatics. It's like every day. He's just always working. Hard worker. Check him out. Check him out. All right, let's take a look here. What are your thoughts on audio racks? Boy, I got a lot of thoughts on audio racks. I hate most of them, which is why I built my own. That's this guy back here because I just got sick and tired of crappy audio racks. Who are they right for, and what do you feel they add to your setup? Well, I feel like they add a place to put all your equipment. I mean, I don't know. I built the heck out of mine. I mean, this is like each of these. Oh, this is hard to do. This is going to be the end of me. Each of these is like 3/4 inch Baltic birch MDF sandwiched together. And then I veneered it. Really thick, heavy stuff. The top one is just hickory, right? That's just a hickory plank, and I got some IKEA legs there, and that's holding the top rack. And then the rest of it, get out of the way. You see these? Oh man, these feet right here from IKEA. Got little spikes that I got from GR Research. I drilled in the bottom using a drill press, and all the holes weren't lined up, so that makes me crazy. But I did a pretty good job. I'm proud of it. Have you ever tried out Dirac? Yes, Troy, I have. Go back and watch my review of the NADM10, and I talk about it. Personally, only a fan below 500 hertz, but it does some amazing stuff with the bass modes at the listening position. Troy, you just said exactly what I would say. I like the fact that you can enable that curtain and you can actually just tame lower frequencies. And for me, Dirac is pretty epic. Big fan of it. All right, let's take a look here. Pop, 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 pop. Ron, I remember my first beer. That was funny. Oh my goodness sakes. Ron, don't drive after drinking that. I don't plan to. Ah, shit, he just realized the joke. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Eric. Insecticide. Orange flavored insecticide. This video is brought to you by Orange flavored insecticide. LaCroix. Please drink. New record day. Yeah. I'm going to get an email from LaCroix tomorrow. I promise you that. So thanks. Ron, what were you saying? What were you saying about incest in LaCroix? No, man, we just put insect stuff in there. Nothing. Nothing more than that. Oh my goodness sakes. Holy cow. How do I get into this YouTube bro club? You just did. There is no YouTube bro club. You just start making videos, man. That's all you do. You're in it. You're in it. I do not subscribe to the idea. I'm going to get some flack for this. I'm going to step in it. I do not subscribe to the idea that you need vast, crazy experience to talk about hi-fi on YouTube. I don't. I think that there are many things that you should be disciplined in and that you should learn and that you should educate yourself about. I think that you should, if you're reviewing speakers, I think you need to acknowledge the importance of measurements. You can't just dismiss it as, that's just nonsense. No, it's not. It's important. I think you need to understand the effect your room has on the sound. I think you need to buy a microphone and measure the speakers in your room to understand what's happening. So when you go to report what you hear, you know what's going on in your room. I think that is critical. If you can do that and you can tell a story and you can articulate things and you can communicate what you hear, we need more. We need more. We do. So that's it. I hope I inspired somebody to start up a channel tonight. Ron, have you ever changed ferrofluid fluid in a pair of speakers? No. No. Home theater fanatics. We love you, man. Yes, sir. We love you too, buddy. When I want to know about 2-channel, I come here. Me too. Oh my goodness sakes. Let's just take a look here. My buddy is still debating that with his ADS L980s from the 80s, they still sound excellent, but okay. I thought there was going to be a question in there. Oh, it just freaked out on me. Let me scroll back up. I got my audio rack custom made. Good for you. That's awesome. Have you heard of Cane Tuck audio open baffle loudspeakers? If so, your thoughts? No, I haven't. Please email me a link so I don't forget. Ron at New Record Day. Thoughts on the Hypex Encore NC252 MP 2-channel module do-it-yourself amps? John, I can't say. I love the NC400, which I have spent a lot of time with, and big fan of that guy. I would imagine the 252 is probably a fine amplifier. I'm sure it's fine. When you reviewed the spatial audios, you mentioned listening in a 10 by 11 room. I have a 5.1 in same size room that I can treat, worth trying. Other option, giant rooms with echo. Okay, so that is true. In my other home that we moved from, excuse me, the family room was, gosh, was it that small? I know what room you're thinking of. You're thinking about when I went into the TV room and I listened to the spatials in that room. You can do it. There's gonna be sacrifices, and I've learned a lot since then. This is a journey, guys. It's like everything you think you know, down the road, you learn more, and then you think back, "Did I really say that? Was I that big of a knucklehead?" You can get spatials in a small room. You must understand that almost everything that I love about Open Baffle now, with everything that I've learned over the years through the long journey, happens when you give them room to breathe. When you're able to pull them out away from the walls, that's when really amazing things happen. And so, yes, you can do it. Will you be getting the most out of those loudspeakers in that little 10 by 11 room? Heck no. No. You would be it would be the ice cube sitting on top of the iceberg. You haven't even gotten to the good stuff, in my opinion. I'm just being honest with you. So keep that in mind. Yes, you can do it. Will you be getting the most? No. Ron, which jazz song albums do you connect with the most? Public Piper, there is a band called Mammal Hands, and almost anything from Mammal Hands that I listen to, I'm really digging it. And I've been chewing on a lot of their stuff here recently, and it's fantastic. Mammal Hands, check them out. Thoughts on using speaker amps for headphones? What? I think that's a question for DMS or Joshua Valor. Are there headphones that require that much power now? Or is that where we're at now? It's it's probably these headphones guys. They're like, "Hey, maybe we'll finally get some soundstage if we just play." Oh, headphone guys and their soundstage. What soundstage are you rambling about? I don't know. I'm not qualified to answer that question. All right, let's take a look here. Let me back up. Let me back up. Bup, bup, bup. Are those purified bookie speakers behind you for sale anywhere yet? Jason, I don't think that they're gonna be for sale. I don't think that's the idea of these. I think that these would be like here's the blueprint and you can build them. In my review, I'm going to tell you not to. I'm just letting the cat out of the bag. Uh, this is not going to be, oh, well, that sounds really dramatic. I don't like this. I don't like this tweeter. I almost said that backwards. That would have been dramatic. I don't like this tweeter. These air motion tweeters. No, no. The woofer, it's got some potential. And I walk you guys through this in the review, and I do it in Record Day style. I tell you the truth, and I think that if you're going to be building your own speakers, then you should take a look at these woofers and don't, no, not in love with the tweeters. All right, let's take a look here. The gift of the gab is a big plus for YouTube popularity. I think I do maybe have the gift of gab. I think I got that from my pops. And that is true. Yeah. Like I said, I just make up a bunch of stuff. Fancy words, harmonic overtones, time domain. There's no such things. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. There is. There is. All right. Hello. Which is the most important to leave space to the wall, to the speaker's side wall or back wall? Okay. You're saying back wall. I think I'm going to call it the front wall because it's in front of me, right? So I think that it is more important to have space from the back of the speakers to the front wall versus the side wall. Side wall, you can get pretty dang close without really screwing things up. Pretty dang close. Say once you're 2 feet away, stop. Stop it. Don't. No, I said stop. 2 feet, stop. All right, here we go. Which microphone do you recommend to measure the acoustics of the room? I recommend getting the Mini DSP Umic 2 microphone that just came out. That's probably going to be a good mic to pick up. If you can't afford the Umic 2, then I would recommend the 1. And I have the 1, and I'm going to upgrade to the 2 here shortly. Maybe after this live stream. All right, insecticide, LaCroix, orange flavor insecticide. Here we go. All right, let's move on. Oh, as it gets warmer, I think I'm tasting it. Do not drink that. Terrible idea. All right, let's see here. Thanks, Ron. Ordered a build from Buckeye. Awesome, John. Very cool. Hey, Ron, could suggest an integrated amp pairing for the Eloc debut reference. Great speakers. Also, when would you recommend a streamer if somebody already has an AVR with streaming capabilities? Don't. If the AVR already has streaming capabilities and it's working, then leave it alone. Wait a minute. So, Justin, I'm confused. Do you already have an integrated amp that has streaming capabilities, or are you looking for an integrated amp with streaming capabilities? Because that's what I would do. I would do that. I would just look for an all-in-one. You're done. Convenient. Eloc debuts, they're great. That's what I would do. Any jazz albums that you use to test equipment or just love? No. No, I don't. When I listen to some jazz stuff, it's for a short period of time. I might do it just to come back to it because it's something that's familiar. All the cliche stuff. Take 5, Kind of Blue. They're classics. You can't touch them. They're there for a reason. But yeah. I just got a Mammal Hands record. So good. Yes. Mammal Hands. Awesome. What lens are you using? I am loving the bokeh. This is my favorite lens of all time, Giles. This is a Canon 24mm 1.4 L lens and version 2. And yeah, it is my go-to. This is 90% of the stuff that you see. It is on that guy. I love it. And I use it fully open. All right, let's see here. Laugh out loud. Exactly. Headphone soundstage. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Headphones. Oh, we're the headphones. I'm Joshua Ballard. Let's talk about headphones for 15 minutes. And I got a lightsaber behind me and a bike. That's what headphone guys do. They go out and work out when they're done talking about. I love you, Josh. I do. I freaking love Josh to death. He's a great dude. All right, let's see here. If you had your own brick and mortar hi-fi shop, what brands would you stock? Nothing but Open Baffle. Yeah. Only Open Baffle loudspeakers. And when they come to the listening room, the speakers will be like in the middle of the room. People are like, what kind of place is this? What's going on here? Not in the middle of the room. That would be a terrible place to put speakers, but you get the idea. I would be wrecking some brains. And if I had a listening room where people come in and like buy stuff, I wouldn't be doing YouTube anymore. I'd be drinking something more than insecticide. Maybe a little martini or something. Classy. Yeah. I love you guys. I love doing this. I don't think I could get away from doing this channel. I think I'm a lifer. I'll be doing this for a long time. So I own Golden Ear Triton 1Rs and recently auditioned some Sapphire M3s and I want to get them. I don't blame you, Jordan. I currently use a Marantz SR7013 AV receiver to stream music. Which should I go first, M3s or decent separates? You should go for the M3s first. Speakers will make the biggest difference. Hands down. Don't worry about changing out. Your amps are going to be fine for the time being. Get the M3s. Don't look back. And welcome to the club. Welcome to the Open Baffle Club. Love your reviews from Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man's a fan. That's cool. You actually give information we want, need, and trust. Extremely rare. Thanks. Thank you, Spider-Man. Get back to fighting crime and get rid of COVID. Can you fight COVID off for us? That would be helpful, Spider-Man. All right, let's take a look here. Thanks a lot again, Ron, for answering my questions. More power to you. God bless. Sub-Annihilation, God bless you. Take care, my friend. Good night. For the Purify woofer, you should probably stick to their passive radiators over a vented alignment. There are some good forum threads out there with people trying transmission lines and everything. Okay. Senfi, sure. Yeah, actually, I give a nod to that in my review. I actually talk about that. I think that if I was to be building from the ground up a speaker using this woofer, I think I would go for the passive radiators. So you might be onto something. Ron, should I invest in my neighbor's startup? He says headphone subs are the next big thing. Is his name Joshua Valor? It is, isn't it? Josh is up to it. Probably Josh and DMX, those guys. No. Let's take a look here. I hope that's not serious. If I see subs on headphones, I will spend the rest, every single video will be making fun of them. I will not do reviews anymore. So let's hope that's not a reality, because I will just make fun of headphones with subs, because that's ridiculous. Let's take a look here. Not really hi-fi related, but have you tried the Friedman BE100 EL84 guitar amp and speakers combination? They're quite awesome in my opinion. No, I haven't. I know the Friedman stuff is killer. The amp that I have, if he's still around, Eric built it for me. It is a JTM 45, and we went a little bit boutique on it. We bought all the original, new old stock caps and fancy schmancy stuff that they used to use on those. And my goodness sakes, JTM 45. Love it. Amazing. What was your first coming of age audio bliss moment, like your aha moment? Michael, I've talked about this a little bit in the past. I'll make it short and sweet. I was over at my stepdad's house we're eating spaghetti. We were talking about playing guitar, and he's like, hey, have you heard Neil Young? My brother and I were like, no, who's Neil Young? We went into his living room. He had a Kenwood rig set up, and he dropped the needle on Cinnamon Girl from Neil Young. I think I was just sitting in the right spot, and the end. I was just like, what is happening right now? I felt scared. That was it was like, how is this room coming to life like this? It was one of those moments. That was the first memory of like, wow. Joey G is here. Everything's going to be okay. All right. Joey G's audio channel, another hi-fi YouTube reviewer, celebrity. Go and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. Just show some love, show some support. More orange flavored insecticide. Here we go. Bottoms up. All right. Check out Jazz Polita's latest album. Amazing. Okay, Joseph, I'll check that out. I'll remember that. I'll take a note of that. You highlight that. Copy this. Okay, saved. Got it. Bowers and Wilkins 607's anniversary edition. We're Audiophilic Speaker of the Year, yet I can't find a review anywhere else on YouTube. Crickets, would you review them? Sound United. That's your cue. Come on, Paul. Send me the Bowers and Wilkins 607's anniversary edition. Let's check them out. Ron, are there any hi-fi shows you attend? If so, anything neato coming up? I would like to. It'll be interesting if we actually see anything, to be honest with you. I don't know if we will. I hope that we do. But, obviously safety concerns, things like that. I get it. So, I don't know. That's a big question mark, I think, for everybody right now. Yeah, Paul from Anti-Cables. Jordan, yeah. Super cool guy. I'm glad that we're able to check him out. That's awesome. And yeah, Paul's a super nice guy. Um, Roar of the Tiger. Ron, I'm not yanking your chain, but every time you come on, you prove one thing. It pays to have a personality to host a YouTube channel. A sense of humor is a big plus. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Check is in the mail. Ron, just a joke about headphones and subs. Laugh out loud. Well, thank goodness. So the reviews will continue. Thank goodness. Big sigh of relief. We should organize a Valley Progressive Audiophile open house after COVID, obviously. Yes, Jeremy, I agree. I agree. And Eric, here's Eric saying it's beautiful, referencing the JTM 45 that he built for me. And it is. Eric, I've been playing a little bit, noodling a little bit. Do we need to bias my tubes? It's been like a year since you built that. Can you believe it? It's been like a year. Do we need to bias my tubes? He built it so only smart people can bias it. So he needs to come over and do it. Yeah, and I got Scumbag. I got a 412 with Scumbags in it. Tasty. It's tasty. It sounds lovely. All right, here we go. New record day. Can you get a hold of Proact or ATC speakers in Arizona? I haven't had any luck, but I'll certainly try. I think Doran, the British audiophile. I should reach out to him and see if he has any hookups. See if he can point me in the right direction. He seems to be big on Proact and ATC. So I'll have to ask him. Doran, if you ever watch this, cheers, buddy. Of all the YouTube reviewers out there, Doran he's up there for me. One of my favorites. I really like that guy a lot. A lot. Incredibly smart. Half as smart as Giles. And that's really, really smart. Ron, in all seriousness, what is your preferred media as of late? Vinyl, tape, CD, DCD, DVD, etc. streaming. Vinyl for me is still king, to be frank with you. I think that is the most enjoyable way to listen to music. If I really want to just soak it in, I go for a record. With the Maydac and with CDs, not streaming, not Rune, not Tidal, not Qobuz, but CDs, it can be amazing. And there's some pros and cons. I'm not, I try to be fair. It's like vinyl is amazing when we're talking about the right recording, right mastering. When it's set up for success on vinyl, it's hard to beat. Guess what? When it's set up for success on digital, it's hard to beat. Hard to beat. Goes both ways. So, but yeah, the thing about vinyl is it's expensive. All this whole new record day stuff and vinyl explosion. Thanks a lot, New Day Records. Now records are so expensive. I had nothing to do with it. Let's not be silly. From what I hear, the home entertainment show and RMAF will happen this year. Giles, I've heard the same thing, my friend. I have heard that the show is on, and I have heard that RMAF will happen. So we'll see. I hope so. Sarah's over here going, trip, beach trip. Let's go. Yeah, I can't blame her. I want to get the heck out of here. All right, let's take a look at 2 years. Eric, has it been that long? Holy smokes. Yeah, but it's probably fine. We can, though. Cool. Let's just double check it. I'm an audiophile, so it's like those things keep me up at night. I want to make sure they're okay. So you have those. So you had those Manly 300Bs, right? Jeremy, don't tell anybody, but she hasn't asked for them back yet. They're just down here. She said, I'll reach out to you after the holidays. Shh. Don't tell her. Don't tell her. All right. So you had those Manly 300Bs, right? Am I crazy? Or did you say something about building some 300B amps? An amp build would be cool. I did. Danny built an amp, but I'm not Danny Ritchie. Eric, who built my tube amp, he's probably qualified at this point to build a 300B amp. And there is a kit out there, the same kit that Danny did, that I'm sure maybe I need to give that a serious nod. That would be a fun thing to tackle. That'd be a fun thing to do. Michael Walker. Oh, this one's funny. Hold on a second. I got to burp. All right. Michael Walker. Ron, what do you think of these tactile speakers you bolt to the bottom of the listening chair? Butt shakers. Back when I was into like video games and stuff, World of Warcraft and all that stuff, I actually did that. I bought some butt shakers and I had a Anki receiver to the side of me, and I had Polk Audio surround sound for World of Warcraft. I was that kid, like no joke. It was ridiculous, and I was geeking out, and you know, the whole butt shaking thing. Would I do that as an audiophile now? No. But if you did it, I wouldn't be mad at you. Do what you want, man. Yeah. You know what? There are no rules. Let's get that part right. It's just suggestions. It's just ideas. You do what you want, man. Whatever floats your boat, man. That's what my wife would say. Whatever. Joey G's audio channel, Vinyl Schminal. Unsubscribe from Joey G right now twice. Click on the subscribe button twice to unsubscribe. Then I guess you would just resubscribe. But Vinyl Schminal. Ugh. Joey G is one of these guys. It's like, it's all about Super Audio CD and Class D. Yeah. Yeah, oh, man, I love him. He's a good guy. He's a clown, but he's a good guy. Back to Z reviews. Back to Z reviews. We're talking about Z reviews a lot tonight. His mouth is hard to take. My wife hates him. She refuses to be in the room if I watch his videos. Ron, he has nothing on you as a reviewer. You know, we all have, I guess, things we bring to the table. Like I said, what I respect about him, based on what I've seen and what I know about him, is he has integrity. And that is an admirable trait that I can't say the same about every single reviewer out there. He at least has that, and that's important. He has integrity. All right. Ron, cable matching with the Manly monoblocks, talk to me. Yeah, I like it if you get matching cables, like 2 black cables or 2 red cables. It looks nice. I think that looks really good. Jeff. Come on, man. You got to try better than that. You got to try better than that. Come on now. Come on now. Ron, what do you think about these? Oh, I already got that one. Hold on. Let me just see here. Thanks for taking my questions. See you on the next one. No problem. Take care. New Day Digital. That sounds like vinyl. Has a certain ring to it. Oh, that's funny. Would you review a CD transport? Snow Ranger. By the way, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Patron supporter. Better looking than most of you guys. Let's be honest. Snow Ranger, and a cool name, cool moniker. Would you review a CD transport? Could be a good companion as you continue to explore DACs. Yes. The CD transport that I am most interested in is not out yet, and that is from Shit Audio. The moment that comes out, I will be all over it. For sure. Are you going to do a review on the Triangle Borea Bro 3s? Yeah, once I get them back from your house, Joe. Yeah. You've got them right now. Yeah. Yeah, I will. Absolutely. Thanks for live stream and content. I really enjoy your videos with the cheap audio Randy. Love Randy, by the way. He's great. I bought a pair of Eloc Debut 5.2s on Randy's recommendation and really enjoy them. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Dennis C. I appreciate it. If you guys don't know Cheap Audio Man, go subscribe to his channel. Randy is awesome. Awesome dude. So great. Have you listened to any Audio Note or AGD? No, I have not. Well, I think I heard some Audio Note stuff at a show. And if I remember correctly, they do speakers, right? I think this was one of the rooms where they literally had the speakers literally in the corners of the room playing music. And I was like, I walked in and I did one of these. I was like, I was like, bye bye. That was enough of that. Knuckleheads. Like, what are you doing? Hey, we've learned a lot about audio for the past, couple of decades. We're just gonna throw it right out the window. We're gonna go cowboy and just slam speakers literally in the corners. Oh my goodness sakes. Randy's smarter than me, Joe says. Randy's smarter than everybody. It's a fact. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. You can look it up. Says he's the smartest. He won. He got the high score. All right. I think Z is hilarious. He's honest and holds no barred views. I don't mind language, but to have the head mounted cams make me sick to watch. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. All right, fine, Ron. Here it is. The gloves are off. Get Sarah in front of that mic right now and give the crowd here a full-on whispered GRE search as only she can deliver. I dare. She's in her pajamas, so no. Mine's gonna have to. I'll do it better than her. GRE search. It's almost the same. Jeff liked it. Ron, is there a projected price on the shit audio transport? Why does my nose itch every time I do a freaking live stream? It drives me crazy. I don't know. I think I heard something about 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. I think those are the numbers I was hearing. So it's not going to be cheap. Not going to be cheap. And I think no I2S, which was surprising to hear. Maybe I don't want that transport. I got to think through that one. Austin A, thank you so much for the super chat question. I'm going to read it off as soon as my nose relaxes. I have GE Triton 1s, NAD C658, Macintosh MC152 amp, SVS SB16 Ultra, and GIK. So Roma treatment, that's great. If you were me, what would you look at to add or replace to evolve it to the next level? B&W Diamonds, Mac 2 Pre, etc., etc. Ooh. Changing out the speakers will be the most dramatic difference, Austin. So if you're happy with how your speakers sound, then don't do that. If you feel like you need to do a slight pivot, a slight change, then look at your gear, starting with your preamp or power amp. That's what I would do. Depending on your source, that can make a huge difference going upstream. What are you using as your source? Is it computer based? Is it, a streamer? Is it, what kind of DAC are we talking about? Those things can make some pretty big differences up top. If you're not happy with your speakers, then that's where you go. Is you leave your gear alone and you take a look at making a big change. Just know that changing the speaker is big changes. Changing the gear is typically just pivots. You're just swimming around, right? And in my opinion, I would say preamp, power amp, source, somewhere in there is probably going to be what I would be looking at. I will continue to say, Austin, I'm trying to make this worth your time. A preamp with a tube is my favorite place to have a tube. That's my favorite place. If I'm going to put a tube anywhere in my system, it's going to be in the preamp, and that can open some very interesting doors in terms of just that holographic type sound stage. Absolutely. Chuck, are you going to review any Alta audio speakers? I don't know. I don't mind saying this. I like being honest. I did get in some Alta audio speakers and I sent them back. just being totally transparent and honest with you. I let them know why. Um, they just weren't quite what I was hoping they would be at the asking price. I'll put it at that. I don't want to get myself in trouble, and I certainly don't want to make it so I can't review any Alta Audio speakers in the future. The last email that I sent him gave him some measurements and my thoughts to consider. I hope he takes it under consideration, and we'll see. We'll see. All BSing aside, excellent LS50 meta and LS50 video, man. It may have already been brought up tonight, but I came late to the party. Hey, Joey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I was pretty happy with that review. My brain stopped working. Must be the insecticide. I'm gonna have some more. Off camera, you can do it. All right. Hold on, I'll do it. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. All right, Jeff, I'm gonna do it. You can just come over here and you need to be in frame. Let's do a whisper first of New Record Day. And let's do GR research. There you go, you weirdos. You're a bunch of weirdos. Sarah. They wanted you to do the whispering thing. So, yeah, you guys are going to have to pay for that. Let's see some super chats, guys. Come on. Don't be stingy now. Ron, maybe a video ranking audio components in terms of impact to the beginner audio file setup. Jeremy, that's a great idea. I need to do that. That's a great idea. So I'm out, no I2S. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, Joey, but I think it's true that there is no I2S on that new transport that Shit Audio is going to be releasing. There's got to be a reason for it. I want to hear why they would not do that. It's interesting. We'll find out. Let's see here. Scrolling back up because this just freaked out on me. Here we go. I think it's because Shit doesn't support pure DSD playback. I don't know. You're the digital guy. You tell me. I don't know. Any good under $500 balance stacks out there? I would be on the used market. That's what I would be doing. I know that there are some really, really good measuring DACs from China. Whether or not that always means that they're going to be your cup of tea or they're going to sound, great to you, you're going to have to experiment and try that. I'm currently trying that for myself. I actually have 1, 2, 3 made in China DACs that are affordable, and I'm gonna find out for myself, because then I can answer the question, like, what's the deal with those? What this is from My Own Devices. Please subscribe to his channel. He's another hi-fi reviewer. What do you think of my idea of starting each video with a stunt? I hear the kids like that kind of a thing. Yeah. I would say jumping from a helicopter will probably get you the views, man. Parachute, maybe like a shot down. I can just see it now. I could just shot down, looking down, land on your roof as you're running, remove your parachute, jump, land on a skateboard like Bart Simpson into the house, do a flip, land on your couch, perfect listening position, review, go. I'm just throwing an idea out there. Give it a go. All right, let's take a look here. I believe the Shit URD CD transport is projected to be $1,200, $1,300, like Ron said. Should have USB coax AES optical out, but also has 2 USB inputs and clean up shittier sources. Snow Ranger. He doesn't lie. He lies a little bit, but he's not lying right there. He's not lying. My wife loves the butt shaker chair. She is always playing Van Halen Eruption instrumental loud. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. The Audio Labs and Cambridge Audio CD Transport are around half that price, but only have optical and coax out. Snow Ranger again knows his stuff. He's a genius. Let's take a look here. Hey, Ronnie B. Swag, what's your take on upgrading power amp power cables? Insecticides. Sure. Go for it. Experiment. Here's the thing. You'll never find a measurement that's going to tell you should do it, ever. All the science guys will say you're crazy, and that's fine. Maybe you are. My thoughts when it comes to cables, anything like that, is we should be free. We should be free to choose what we want to do. And if you want to give it a go, give it a go. You want to try it, give it a go. See if they offer, a return policy, money back, something along those lines. That would be a good idea. Experiment. Sometimes that's the only way to know for yourself and to experience it for yourself. And if you think that was worth the investment, then nothing can take away from your subjective enjoyment. Nothing. That's what matters the most, is that when you sit down to listen, does it matter to you? Simple as that. That's a reasonable way to look at it, right? It's reasonable. What, is the science police going to come knocking on your door saying, "You're not allowed to, man. No way." It's like, get out of my house. I'll do what I want. I paid for the cable. I can do what I want. That's what I think. Crazy, I know. Crazy. Thoughts on low mass platters on turntables such as Riga versus VPI high mass platters on VPI? I can't say that I've noticed. I think the cartridge makes probably a bigger difference than those two. Where I would jump and say we need to have a conversation is when we get to acrylic. Acrylic anything, acrylic platters, acrylic turntables. That is a different sound. And I feel like you do lose. I think that you lose some of the excitement in the record. I feel as if you are giving up with that material, that you are giving up some of the stuff that you might otherwise hear in the time domain. So we're getting up into ambience and things like that. As high as records can play, not nearly as high as digital, but I think that you're giving that up. I really like the Rega. Is it Riga or Rega? It doesn't matter. Rega. I like their tables a lot. VPI, I like their tables a lot. I think you'd be surprised how close they really probably are, outside of the fact that Riga spins a little bit faster. That's been well documented. A little bit peppier. And then the cart. Different cart on there. They're going to sound a little bit different. A little more. The Rega might be a little bit more peppy, a little bit more fast. And it's like, yeah, I'm rock and roll, man. And, something like a classic is like, "Hey, kid, I'll clobber you if you keep running around like a monkey." That's what the VPI would do. "I'm going to clobber you. Stop it." Mac Mini streaming title Autovano with CDs rips to AIFF. Yeah. Yeah. Do that. Give it a try. Gershman products. And are you interested in reviewing them? I've heard nothing but good things about them. Nino, I'd be happy to. I've seen their speakers. They look nice, but I haven't checked them out. I'd be happy to. All right, here we go. I'm going to scroll back up, scroll back up. Here we go. Oh, this must have been when my wife was in here because everybody's losing their mind. That was dope, Sarah. Oh my God, loving this. Laugh out loud. Jeff just said no. Dope. Yeah. Love you, Jeff. Randy and I were talking about, you know, I have this Rodecaster Pro. And when we do our podcasts, I could invite you guys on. We could do like phone calls and stuff and have some guests on. Might do that. Probably have Jeff on. Jeff's a cool guy. He'd be fun to chat with. We'd have a good time. Okay, Ron. Next challenge, shirtless. Now you do it. No. No, thanks. Ba, 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 ba. Would you do a joint live cast with zero fidelity? Sure. Sure. Sean and I used to do stuff together all the time. Sure. No problem. Yeah. Yeah. I would do a joint podcast or a video with any of the reviewers out there, and I would be respectful and we would have a great time. And it's about building the community. That's what it is. It's about building the community. Sure. When is your HoloSpring KTE versus HoloMay KTE comparison coming? As soon as I've made up my mind. These things take time. It's all about the subtleties. When we start playing this high, when we start playing the big boy stuff, it's about the subtleties. Both are incredible. There's some differences. We'll talk about it. When I made up my mind and I can depend on it and I'm confident, yes. Thank you for answering my question, and thank you, Sarah, for being a good sport. Matt, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good stunt, Pete Townsend destroying speaker stack. Yeah, Michael, dude, that was just one of the greatest performances of all time. Absolutely. Yeah, Pete Townsend. Mess with Pete Townsend. I dare you. I dare you. Let's just take a look here. Hey! I made it. I'm down to the very bottom. Holy smokes. This is like the first freaking time. Snow Ranger, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You demand, Ron. Have 2 moose dollars. I'll take your moose dollars. Thank you. I appreciate that. Building the community. Amen. Yes. My heart's always been there, and I haven't been the best example, but I do try. I try to reach out and support these guys to the best of my ability and inspire them to do the best that they can with the reviews. And yeah, absolutely. The argument of light versus heavy platters occupies the same resonance space as damped light speaker panels, BBC versus heavy dense cabinets or sand as the older Wharfdale designs. I think that could be true. Could be true. Yep. Ron, in reference to the other reviewers referenced tonight here, you are the only one I find as being serious, and no, this isn't Heine kissing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do take what I do seriously, but I don't take myself too seriously. I try. I could do a better job with that. Comment section gets a little under my skin sometimes. My wife knows, like, can't make everybody happy, bro. Just move on. All right. Is it really Ennio Morrison commenting? He scored the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh my gosh. If that is, that's freaking awesome. That would be epic. That would be epic. Ron, stop being sad. Please, we beg you. Am I being sad? I'm not being sad. I'm not being sad. I'm doing just fine. I'm not being sad. Have you heard the DCS bar talk? No, I haven't. I would love to check out the DCS stuff. For those of you that are late, tomorrow is an exciting day. Out for delivery. Hegel H 390. H as in holy crap. I'm excited. I'm excited. Do you think a system can sound realistic? Yes. Yes. Sure. I think that's what we're going for. Um, some folks chase what they've heard in live recordings. I don't. I don't. Or like at a live event. I don't chase that. I'm not going for that. When I did studio engineering for a very short period of time, I don't want to make it sound like I'm an expert of no, I'm not. I'm not. I dropped out. But what I learned quickly is that in multi-track recording, it's it's trickery, man. We're like panning stuff and moving stuff around to try to just give space in the mix. It's not about, oh, is that like really like this real live event? That's a different cat, right? Recording like a live type of a situation versus multi-track, two different things. I enjoy both. So what I'm trying to achieve might come down to the recording. That's the truth is, does this recording lend itself to that live type of a feel? Am I listening to Neil Young sitting on a bench or a stool, playing the guitar, singing Heart of Gold? Or am I hearing a bunch of stuff panned around in a very interesting way? I like them both. They're awesome. I'm joking, Christ, he died. Jeff, maybe we won't have you on the podcast, you know? Like, you'll be messing with me the entire time. I'll believe everything you just said. Yeah. I should have known that. You see, this is how gullible I am. I'm like, wait, what? Uh, your can of insecticide is causing you to appear sad. Huh, that's funny. No, I'm not sad at all. Ron, have you heard the newer bookshelves of Golden Ear? No, I want to. You turn in though before you dropped out. John Sweeta. I don't know what that means. Have the older H70 and love it. That's awesome. Have you tried Lexman DX10 CD SACD player? No, I haven't. All right, Jeff has a new challenge. Wow, we're 2 hours in. Holy cow. Okay, here's the challenge, Ron. Good one. Name five hi-fi companies that nobody here has heard of. Has to be gear you've heard even at a show at least once. Do it. 5 companies that you've never heard of. No. Everything that I'm thinking of, you guys have heard of. I'm going to serve that back to you, Jeff. Name 5 companies that we've never heard of. Go, do it. 5 right now. Now, Jeff, now. Do it. I can't think of anything. I'm drawing a blank, man. I mean, I think that you guys have probably heard literally every company that I can think of, to be honest with you. Michael Walker, Ron, I just want to say thanks for all of your time. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it, man. Really do. Yeah, Jeff. Now who's the tough guy? 5 companies that we haven't ever heard of. Oh, man. 2 hours in. Do I keep going? You guys want to keep going? We got 128 in here. Do we keep going or are we done? What do you guys want to do? What time is it? 8:50? All right. Questions, guys. What do you want to know? Anything goes tonight. I'm feeling frisky. Anything goes. All right, Jingle Nuts is asking, how is the sound warm or mix of analog and digital sound? I'm not really sure what you mean. Rephrase that question. You're not clear. I'm not sure what you're asking. How did you get that hat? Cardis Audio. This is a funny story. So it was Newport or Rocky Mountain. One of those. Show was over. Made my way back up to the Ryan speakers room. Wanted to see Trevor, Ryan before I left. Say goodbye. You know, really cool guys. I like those guys a lot. Fantastic loudspeakers. Company that knows what the heck they're doing. And Angela Cardis was there. And as I walked in the room, Trevor nods at me and he's like, "Hey, Angela, have you met Ron from New Record Day?" She's like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "Oh, he has a YouTube channel and his mom watches every single one of his reviews." Straight face. I was like, "You son of a bitch. What? What? That's how you can introduce me? You sly son of a gun. What's wrong with you?" Oh, it was so funny. So funny. That's how I got this hat. Wore it the day that I got back, did a live stream. And then there was a guy that watched the video that sent me an email, and he was heated saying, "I've bought all of these cables and things from Cardis Audio and I've never gotten a hat. And here you are wearing a Cardis hat." And he was upset. He was very angry. It's a true story. I can't make this up. It was the most ridiculous thing in the whole world. I was like, "You're mad because I got a hat at a show that I didn't have to pay for, that they were giving away free to anybody. Just like, here's a hat and you're mad. Okay. Okay. You sound stable." Of all the audio companies you have communicated with and reviewed, which is your favorite in terms of company culture? Spatial Audio is up there. Clayton Shaw is second to none. Uh, Modright, working with Dan was a privilege. Both of those guys, they do it right because they're not looking for BS. They're not looking for that. They're not like, "Hey, man, can you just say some really nice things about my stuff?" No, no, no. They want you to give them meaningful, honest feedback. And whatever that looks like, they're going to take it and they're going to be like, "Okay, that's what he has to say." And I respect both of them for that. Of course, there's Danny, more of a personal friend. I mean, his model is entirely different than, the norm. It's all do it yourself, but he's a great dude. Uh, just somebody that I very much enjoy. Every conversation that I have with Danny is enlightening for sure. Um, Other companies out there that I've really enjoyed, Shit Audio. Shit Audio was amazing because they were like, "Here's the stuff, man. We'll leave you alone." And they left me alone. And I made a fool out of myself calling them Skahit Audio for 7 minutes, trolling you guys for it was a 20-minute video, and I didn't even let in on the joke until 7 minutes in. And just the other day, I still had somebody who's like literally freaking out on that video, just like, "It's shit audio. You're unsubscribe. You're an idiot." It's just like, okay. Okay. I thought it was Skihi Audio from Norway. How did I make that crazy mistake? Or maybe I was just having some fun. It's the last time I checked, hi-fi is supposed to be fun. Is that the studios behind you? Studios? No, these are SPK5s. It's like a little demo speaker from Purify. And they're on deck for this week. I'm going to try to finish it up by the end of the week. We'll see. Any chance of Omega audio speaker reviews? I already mentioned this earlier on the channel. I've reached out to Omega a million times and I've never heard anything back. So I think I've given up at this point. If you want to reach out to him and say, hey, Ron was saying in a live stream that he's reached out to you and you've never returned any emails, then that might get some attention, maybe. I'd be happy to review Omega. I'd be happy to. I just noticed a crossover sitting on top of the speakers. I spy some foil inductors on there. Yes. Yes. Whoa, that was scary. That was terrifying. You are correct. They use some boutique parts, and so I'm going to be talking about that. This is an interesting deal. I mean, it's a do it yourself sample, so it's just giving you an idea of what you can do, with these woofers. The woofers are what's under review, right? I don't like these speakers, and it's not because of the woofers. I don't like the tweeter. Oh, that sounds dramatic, right? I already told Purify like, nah, don't love the tweeter. Like the woofer quite a bit. I think there's a lot of potential there. I'll talk about it in the review. Yeah, that's my thoughts. That's what I think. Thoughts on efficient speakers in 3K range and below range, 94 dB plus, not Zoo, Tecton, Omega clips, something that would make well with 20 watts and below. 94 dB plus. It's getting up there, man. If you are willing to do it yourself, NX Atticas open baffle, that would be my number one. It'd be my number one. It'd be one of my reference speakers. That would be what I would do. Got to have the room. At least 3 feet minimum. More than that is better. What are you? Hold on. Let me go back up. Hold on. I just know. What are you doing with those crossovers on the speakers? Okay, John Sweeta. This was sent out. So this whole package was sent out by Purify. It's the SPK5 from Purify. It's basically like a example speaker that you can build, and they have a PDF that breaks down everything that you would need to know about building a speaker. They're in for review, and that's going to be out later this week, and I'll walk you through my thoughts on the whole shebang. Okay, I'm going to take this whole thing to a new low. Screw, marry, kill. Screw, marry, kill. Okay, so this is that game. Paul McGowan, Sean at 0, Steve Guttenberg, I dare you. No thanks. I'll pass. Thank you. Have you ever heard the Joseph Audio Pulsar speakers? Yes, at a show, and I actually thought they were quite lovely. They were nice. I felt like the top end can be a little bit spiky, maybe a little bit. Wow, we got some zip in there, but man, they were nice. They were nice. Why nobody reviews the shit Ragnarok 2 integrated amp fully loaded? I don't know. I don't know why. It's a good question. Hard to say. I don't know. Ron, do you plan on doing any other Sulk Sound models, reviews, or Sulk Sound bites with commentary? I just reached out to Jim actually because I wanted to do that BMR, but I guess he was saying that's not really something they want to really necessarily promote or send out. But he does want to work with me, so he is interested. He's game. What speaker from Sulk Sound should I request? You guys tell me. Ron, the Ryan speaker guys are pretty cool from customer service standpoint. I emailed them and told them I lost my R620 spikes and tie bars when I moved, and they just charged me for shipping. That sounds like them. Sweethearts. I like those guys a lot. They're really cool. And they make great speakers. Todd Ryan. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Like them a lot. All right, let's take a look here. Dearly, oh wow, audiophile tubes. Dearly departed dad. By the way, I'm sorry to hear that. Left me a Fisher 500C tubed receiver amp in great condition, but it hasn't been turned on in over 10 years. Probably needs caps changed, alignment. You know anyone who works on them? Uh, I would imagine there's going to be some local shops that can help you out. It's hard to say. I don't know of anybody that right off the top of my head that I would recommend. But that Fisher 500C is going to be a treasure. I'm sure that your dad is just going to be looking down and being like, dude, anytime you fire that thing up, probably a lot of cool memories with that little guy. So that's really cool. I would hang on to that guy. That's really neat. Do you have a phono you can recommend in the $500 to $750 price range? Currently have the Thorens TD shit phono. I think the shit phono at that price point is pretty hard to beat. I like the lounge a lot. I still do like the lounge a lot. Um, that's kind of a tough bracket. I feel like to beat that, you got to break out of the $1,000 price point to really break out. So I'd maybe just stick with what you got, man. If things sound great, I don't think you're going to see huge differences if you swap that out. I really don't. I don't think you're going to see night and day differences until you get into something a bit bigger, And by bigger, I mean more expensive. Like as an example, I was saying earlier in the live stream, like a used Chinook. Yeah, tubes, phono. Yes, yes is the answer to every question that you ask regarding that. Tubes, phono equals yes every time. Every time. All right, here we go. How do you think the SVS Ultra bookshelf compares to the Klipsch RP600M? Which do you like best and why? I think the SVS Ultra bookshelf is the better of the two speakers for a couple of reasons. I think there is better texture and tone to be found in the woofer that is being used in the Ultra. I hear a little bit more attack throughout the midband, and I think that it is easier to listen over the long haul than the RP600M, which I find to be just a bit much for my liking if I'm listening for a long time. There's only so much of the RP600M that I can listen to before I'm like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Um, so that's my thoughts. I also think the mid range on the SVS is superior. I do. Still not perfectly balanced, and I talked about that in my review, but I think it is a better speaker across the board than the RP600M. I do feel that way. Do you think it is unfair to judge speakers in an altered state? And when will we have audio shows again? If we want to send you a hat, where to? Michael, I'm not sure what you mean. Judge speakers in an altered state. Like if you've changed the crossover or something? No. No. No, I don't think it's unfair. I think that's fair to, you know. I'm not really sure what you mean, but no, I don't think so. I think it's fine. Um Keep going for 4 more hours? Oh my goodness sakes. Get yourself an active crossover unit instead of those passives. I don't know why you're wasting your time with them. Then one by Nelson Pass good for no, John. No. No. Passive sounds better than anything active right now. That's a fact. It's not a fact. It's not a fact. But it is. It's on the back of a cereal box. It says passive better than active. Tell John. That's what it said. I was eating cereal this morning and that's what it said. So blame the cereal box, man. I don't know what to tell you. Ron, would you ever be able to do it yourself amp like a tube amp from Bottlehead? I would be afraid that I'd blow myself up, but it's very interesting. I would like to learn more. I would like to do that. Ron, any new reviews in line? Sorry, Ron, that question was for Joy? Oh, Joey. Okay, not for me. Okay. Ron, I know when you don't like the tweeter, it means you hear the source of the highs and tweeters don't disappear. That is true. Yes. If a tweeter calls attention to itself, considering the fact that I am a huge proponent for getting your speakers into the room, which usually equals soundstage and the ability to have the speaker vanish or disappear. If that tweeter is calling attention to itself, We don't get along. That was the problem with these guys. It's like, no, stop making me look at you because I don't want to look at you. I want you to let go and give me the performance. And if you call attention to yourself, I don't like you. So that's what happened with those, unfortunately. But the cool thing is with the Purify woofers, you can do what you want. Build your own. Do a different tweeter. That is the conclusion of my review is get the woofer, experiment. If you know, do it yourself and pass on that tweeter. Do something different. Any thoughts on bang for buck solid state class A amps other than shit? Whew. No. There's not enough, right? I mean, I think if you were to, I think now eBay is starting to offer a lot of stuff from China that's like clones. Kind of sketchy, right? You know, it's like buying a Nelson Pass clone from China. Yeah, I don't know about that. But to your point, John, we don't have enough options, man. We need more people that are doing what shit has done, you know? Are the Neat acoustic speakers available in the US? Mark, I don't know, but I wish that they were because they're really cool looking. Really interesting speakers. Neat speakers, neat audio. I'd like to check those out. I would want to spend some time with those. I feel like good built electronics are going away. Things are built cheaper. How can we keep good electronics being built like it used to be back in the days? Amps, AVRs, all electronics. You know, I guess that depends on your definition of good built. You know, I mean, technology is advanced to the point where some of the technology, like the NADM 10, if you took that back to when the golden age of hi-fi was happening, room correction. What? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, streaming and all these just wild things that you can do with amplifiers. For those that are just now joining us, speaking of amplifiers, tomorrow is delivery day for the Heagle H. What is it? Which one am I getting? 398? Is that what I said? Heagle. I gotta look. H390. Yeah. Yeah. Heagle H390. Gonna be here tomorrow. Cannot wait. I've been dying to hear a Heagle. Interesting technology in a Heagle. When we start talking about feedback in an amplifier, they have like a correction. I'm going to say this wrong. A correction circuit that makes it go away, does something to it, eats it for lunch. It does. I think that's what it does. It eats it for lunch. Super excited to check out a Heagle. Freya Plus all the time with tube phono stage, with tube amplifiers, all the tubes. Yeah, Benny knows what's up. All right. This just shot down. Let me scroll back up. We got a bunch of new questions. Holy cow, you guys are throwing them at me. Ron, thanks for the help with the advice on the Octave amp last week. I ended up picking up a pair of the Octave MR220s monos instead of the stereo RE320. 2 monos rule. Awesome. Loving it so far. That's great. That's fantastic. Let's take a look here. Perhaps about a year and a half ago, maybe more, Steve Guttenberg once had a guy that repaired tubes. Okay, so you guys are just helping each other out. That's great. Let me just see here. My wife wants to know how Ron can talk for almost 3 hours without having to pee. I peed like 3 times already in this live stream. There's a bucket down there. It's not weird. It's only weird if you make it weird. No eye contact. Let's just take a look here. Ron, would you ever do an off-grid setup like Danny's? Yes, I would. I've been collecting dot audio pieces. I have 2 dot audio preamps. I have a power amp that is being repaired right now with EL84s in it. And I have a DAC and I have a phono stage. All of these items off the grid. Cannot wait. I will keep you guys posted. All right, let's take a look here. Ron, I have a used Heagle H360 and I loved it. I just upgraded though. I felt like the rock ports they deserved a bit better. The octave monos fit the bill perfectly. Crediting Karma, that is awesome. That's very cool. I'm sure your rig is killer. I want to come over. Let's end this live stream. I want to come over and listen to music with you. Ron, what were those pricey small driver speakers you reviewed before? Not the Gallo. What happened to them? Pricey small drivers that are I don't know which ones you're talking about. I'm not sure which one. I don't know which ones you're talking about, man. You gotta give me more than that. The Gallows, the Stratas I reviewed, you know. The Gallo, man, what a mind bender of a speaker. The Gallo 3.1s and the Stratas with subs. What a mind bender of a loudspeaker. Doesn't measure all that great, but it sounds frickin' nuts. Especially the 3.1s, man. I'd love to hear the 3.5s. If you are in the market for a used pair of speakers and you're willing to give them power, current, I just looked the other day and you can pick up a pair of Gallo 3.1s for $1,200, $1,300. You could call it a day. Really just and you know what it is? They lend themselves to what I talk about on my channel the most, which is sound stage. You get those into the room, they're gone. They're gone. You just have a performance in the room. It's freaking awesome. It's so good. Thank you guys for helping out the dude with the 500C, by the way. I can see that conversation going on. That's very cool of you to do that. Thank you. Why are you a fan of hi-fi sounding speakers and not natural sounding speakers? I just don't understand this. John, what the heck are you rambling about? What the heck does that even mean? I'm a fan of hi-fi sounding speakers and not a fan of natural sounding speakers. Okay. No. No. Here's a crazy idea. Maybe they can both be the same thing. Something can be high fidelity and sound natural. It's just unpacking detailed information. I think that can certainly sound natural. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sapphires come to mind. Whenever I'm in the mood to just soak it all in and just hear something, just a natural presentation, sapphires, that's what I do. All right, let's take a look here. Streamer questions. I already talked about that from earlier. I don't really have thoughts on streamers. I don't really have a favorite streamer, to be honest with you. Let's take a look here. It's not a fact active is the proper way to go. Passive can't keep up with. Here we go again, John. Okay, you know what? Here's the deal. That's your opinion, and that's cool. I disagree with you. I've heard a lot of active stuff, and I've heard a lot of passive stuff. And you know who wins every time? Passive. So it's my opinion. But hey, you can come over. We'll have dinner together, and we'll go listen to some active speakers. I'll make fun of them the entire time. I'll be like, "Hey, John, you really like these, huh?" And I'll unplug them, or I'll tip them over. It'll be a fun game. And I'll laugh at you, be like, "Ha ha ha, John, knock the speakers over." Passive. Drink of choice: Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Let's take a look here. Ron, I remembered audience speakers. Oh yeah. I gotta say, it's okay to have a change of opinion about what it is that you're looking for in hi-fi. Might take some time down the road. Those are neat little speakers, but I don't think that I would ever go in that direction at this point. Like with what I know now and what I've experienced now, there's just too many dang limitations to those things. It's like physics will show up and say, you're a wideband driver, you're 3 inches, there's only so much you can do, son. So settle down. No, you can't get on the motorcycle. You'll hurt yourself, kid. Get yourself a cheap pair of Elacs, and they can get on the motorcycle. You can watch your older brother Elacs get on the motorcycle and drive around, but you cannot get on the motorcycle. You'll hurt yourself. You have to get you a Band-Aid. Are the GR Research speakers legit? Yes, they are. What is your definition of legit? Are they engineered well, and do they use high quality parts, and do they sound amazing? If that's your definition of legit, then yes, they are. Yes. Yes. Audiophile tubes. Rusty Shackelford. John, active speakers are for people that don't know how to properly design passive speakers. Oh, my goodness sakes. Oh, that's funny. Rusty Shackelford, you're invited over to my house and hang out with me. Eat some tacos and drink some Cokes and listen to some active speakers and make fun of them. Send a note to John. We made fun of your speakers tonight and we tipped them over. Can do nothing about it. Oh, it's so funny. Have you tried the H-frame subs with a different amp just connected to an amp? No. No. I've contemplated if the one thing that might be holding back the H-frames is the actual amp. It'd be nice if a company out there did some upgrades for that amp, because it's not anything special. It's good, but it's not anything crazy special. Ron, have you ever had a piece of electronic smoke and burn or okay, hold on, let me read this again. Ron, have you ever had a piece of electronics smoke and burn or an amp go up and take out a speaker? No. No, I haven't. Thank goodness. Nope. Can you talk about the GR Research Line 4 sound? Yeah. That noise I just made, that's what you say when you listen to it. Because it breaks your brain. That's what it does. That's what the Line Force does. It's designed to actually make you just go, what's happening to my brain right now? It sounded insane. My brother and I, we went out there, Texas, and we listened to him. And we did a little round party table follow up. And what I said about it is it redefined hi-fi. It redefined like how good things can be. It broke the ceiling. It stretched out and it looked down on me and said, "Hey, you want to come up here and hang out with those big boys? Come messing around with those active speakers with John." That's what it said. Don't blame me. Blame the Line Force. That's what it did. Is it insane? All right, here we go. Ron, without saying names like Tecton or Klipsch, what do the worst speaker designers consistently do wrong? The crossovers. They don't know how to do a crossover. Oh man. It's either the sum of the woofer to the tweeter. They're not in phase. There's a hole in the response. It's actually pretty embarrassing, to be honest with you. When you see some of the stuff and you actually start taking a look and you're measuring it and you kind of peel back some of the layers, you're like, what? But you know what? Actually, I'll say this about Tecton. That's not true with Tecton. I can't say that. That's not true. I guess I just gave up who that is about. That wasn't too smart. Those impacts that I reviewed actually measured quite well. They did. They weren't bad. Eric knew what he was doing. In terms of the crossover integration, he actually did a pretty dang good job. Not bad. Not bad. Um, with some of the other speakers out there, without giving names, you'll see a hole in the response. The sum of the woofer and the driver and the tweeter. It's usually a mess. Like there's like, I just threw some parts in there, see what happened. Was that not good? It's what the online calculator told us to do. Is that how we design speakers? Like, what are you doing? I thought Folsom on Audio Circle was working on upgrades for the Rhythmics sub amps. I've talked to Jeremy about this a lot. I wish Jeremy was in here because I've called him and I'm like, you need to do that. And he's like, yeah, but it's a lot of money and I don't think people will do it. And I'm like, stop being a pansy. If it's worth it, then sell it. And if it's great, then sell it. It doesn't matter. People will buy it. You just got to have confidence. It's like, just do it. Just freaking do it. I wish Danny still had the line force on hand when I go to visit, but I ain't complaining. Hey, check out the NX streams when you go to visit. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Can you talk about the Pure Audio Project speakers? At the beginning of this, I already did. I don't want to repeat myself. I'm going to be brief about this. Zeev is a great guy. Really get along with him. He has sent me a couple of his speakers. They're just not for me. We decided the project just doesn't make sense, and so they have been sent back. It happens. It is what it is. We just have two different things that I think that we're searching for, and that's totally okay. No harm, no anger, no resentment, no weirdness. I would be happy to have Zeev on this channel and just chat with them or whatever and BS. And I'm just not, what he's going for is not what I'm looking for. And that's okay. It's totally okay. All right, let's see here. Let's just take a look here. What happened to the line forces? I don't see them. Okay. With the line forces, I think the issue is the Neo 10s. That's always the issue with Danny, is trying to get the Neo 10s reworked for his purposes. He hasn't been able to do it. So yeah, that's what's going on with there. Dakota Rogers, never seen any of your stuff, but I saw you were live and I saw audio equipment, so I figured I'd see what you're. Recently, I'm getting back into headphones lately, though. Hey, Dakota, if you're into headphones, Joshua Valor and DMS, two great reviewers. They do a lot of stuff with headphones. So yeah, but welcome to the channel. Hang out with us. Have you ever heard the Ecstatic kit from GR Research? No, but I want to. I need to. I would love to. Have you seen OCD Hi-Fi Guy's channel? Yes, I have. Love your videos. Thank you, Diego. Appreciate it. Ron, one of my favorite active speaker, honest, warm. Okay, cool. Are the Triangle Bro 3s being put through their paces? Give us a taste. Detail centric, all of the bigger Bro 8s. Not quite as detailed as the Bro 8s, in my opinion. No slouch in the detail department. There's quite a bit of detail. They've lifted the top end just a little bit. It's like if I remember looking at the measurements, less than an RP600M, less than a SVS Ultra, kind of giving you an idea. So there is a little bit of a lift. I think they do walk the line of being a bit tipsy on top. Pretty decent clarity. Not a lot. Front ports. Front ports, if you want serious big boy bass, they may not be your cup of tea. I would always bring out subs, so it doesn't matter that much to me. Stage quite well. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's a little nugget so far. Let's take a look here. Any chance at a zoo review? Druids or Soul Supreme? John, I don't know. I've reached out to them in the past. I can reach out again and see what happens. We'll see. Joey G's audio channel, close to the LS50s. It's scary. The Bro 3s are hot on the top and tubes are the cure. I could see that. I could see that. The top end is indeed hotter than the LS50s. We can see that. We know that to be a fact. It is. But I don't think that it's like Joey's saying. I think that with smart pairing, I think you can pad that just enough to get by. Pretty speakers, man. Really pretty. You're going to get the KEF subwoofer and supposed to go down to 11 hertz with a 6.5-inch driver. Looks interesting design. John Sweeta, yes, I've asked for it. I hope so. I'd love to check it out. I mean, 11 hertz. 11 hertz from two 6.25-inch or 6.5-inch drivers. Okay. Was that like negative 12 at 11 hertz? I can't wait to find out. What do I know? We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, my brother's here. My actual brother, Mr. John. He says, "Why are we the only smart ones in our family? What's your favorite meal of all time to go with that Coke?" Tacos. What am I, a communist? Tacos. Easy. Um, if we're going out, if we're not making something, bro, then Los Dos Molinos, Mesa, Arizona, chimichanga, green chili, shredded beef. You shut your mouth and you eat that chimichanga, and you drink your Coke, and you eat your chips and salsa like a man. You don't cry about it. That's what you do. But if you're making something, then tacos. If we're going out, chimichanga. Yeah. Yeah. Woo hoo 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 hoo. Cole, what's up, bro? What's up with you, Cole? How you doing, man? Howdy, y'all. Being audio. Well, howdy, y'all. Thoughts on Adcom used amps? Yes, I do think about that from time to time. Adcom, the GF series, like the 555s, things like that. Get them. They're great. They might be dying, but get them. They're awesome. Any experience with Pure Audio projects? Obese, man, I've been talking about Pure Audio project a lot tonight. Scroll, you're gonna have to watch the show again. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna say it again. I've already talked about it twice. Let's see here. You and Randy's show is pretty good fun and knowledge. Thank you, Being Audio. I appreciate it. We're just making up stuff. We don't know what we're saying. We're just making things up. Zoo Dirty Weekend Mark II. You can't go wrong. $900. It's a no-brainer. A lot better than the Mark One. Thanks for sharing that, John. I haven't heard it, so I don't know. I'm going to trust you that what you're saying is true. I don't know. Is it an active speaker, John? It'd be better if it was active. I'm going to make him so mad. Oh, my goodness sakes. That's no active chimichanga. No, it is passive. It's in my belly. Now I want a chimichanga. Holy cow. All right. Longest live stream so far I've ever done. 2 hours and 48 minutes. We'll go a little bit longer. Let's just take a look here. What other questions do you guys have? 136 people in here. What do you want to know? Anything goes tonight. I'm feeling frisky. Anything goes. What do you want to know? For those that are just joining us, tomorrow is delivery day of the Heagle H390. I'm excited to check that out. All righty. What do we got? Excited for the Holo Spring review. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. XLR versus RCA for vinyl. I don't know if it's going to make any dang big difference. I mean, honestly. I mean, a cartridge, if I remember correctly, is inherently balanced. If I got that right, I think it's inherently balanced, but is it going to make a big difference? Where's the turntable at? Where is your phono at? Maybe in long cable runs, XLR might make sense, but if we're talking about typical setups, I doubt that it's going to make much of a difference at all. All right. That you've heard in your home or others near your favorite integrated of all time, favorite turntable of all time, favorite speakers of all time. Favorite integrated of all time is the Vinny Rossi Leo. Tried and true. There's things that it cannot possibly do. Obviously, it is limited by its output, 25 into 8, 50 into 4. But it has been a it's been a staple here at New Record Day. It's been my favorite integrated amplifier. Um, Favorite turntable of all time is the VPI Classic, even more than the Avenger, which is crazy to say that, but it is how I feel. I feel like for the money that you put into a Classic versus an Avenger, I actually like the Classic more. Crazy, I know, but those are my thoughts on that. Favorite speakers of all time. It's a tie between the Atticas and the Sapphires. They bring different things to the table. For a non-open baffle design, I would say Q Acoustic Concepts are the reigning champion, close second to the Sabrinas, which were frickin' insane. More bass than, I mean, those things were crazy good. So yeah, favorite all time prior to those would have to be the Gallo 3.1s. Still hold a special place in my heart. If you had $1,500 burning a hole in your pocket, you get a pair of used Gallo 3.1s and call it a day. But keep in mind, you do need to wake them up with plenty of power. So remember that. Ron, do you have a stock car audio in your rides? Bro, we have a minivan. We have one minivan and a bunch of kids we throw into that minivan, and then we drive. And I can't hear anything but just kids screaming and yelling. I think it's a couple decibels down from like a jet engine, probably 160, 170. So usually I'm, doing Dramamine and Benadryl and earplugs. So yeah. TG Gonzalez, Filiberto's much better than Los Dos Molinos. TG, that's a funny joke. Tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to write that down. Hey guys, in the live stream tonight, TG told this funny joke about Filiberto's chimichangas. It is hilarious. We all laughed. What? Are you crazy, dude? What? Have you listened to any of the new Techniques gear? No, but I would love to. Daughter's favorite speakers. Any speaker that's under the review. Georgia, she has been growing up around audio to the point where I'm proud to say that anytime we're watching TV, she always says, Daddy, Daddy, put on the big speakers. And that's awesome. That's how you get kids into hi-fi, is you just do it. So anything that I'm reviewing is her favorite. Has Danny ever tri-amplified his in extremes? Is this crazy? No, he hasn't. You don't need a whole lot of power to wake up the in extreme. So no, there's no reason to do that. It'd be silly. Excellent choices. Good night, homie. Good night, John. Let's just take a look here. Where do you find good deals on used audio equipment? Hi-Fi Shark. Hi-Fi Shark is kind of like a database. It can just search all of the used places for used hi-fi equipment. It's great. It's awesome. Have you heard the PS Audio Stellar S300? No, I haven't. But most hi-fi speakers, as I suggested, over-exaggerated, don't sound natural in their presentation. A speaker that is natural is what I meant, not a hi-fi speaker. John, if you're talking about a speaker that is hyped in a particular area, so if we have like a hype top end, Not once have I celebrated that on my channel. We can see it in the measurements. We understand it. It's data that we know that is reliable. That when we have a speaker that is behaving on axis and off axis, in the horizontal plane, the vertical plane, we have a natural fall away. It's going to sound natural, and a lot of the things that will bring out some clarity uh, can very well be the parts. I believe that. I've heard it from my own, for myself, my own 2 years. So yeah. Ron, all-time favorite near field speakers, JBL Studio 530s. Those are probably my favorite near field. A little bit big, but for near field, those rock. Those are so great for near field. Fantastic. What is your best price performance solid state mono amps? I would be looking at shit audio. That's what I would be doing. For budget, for performance, I'd be looking at shit audio. NS10, Eric? No. No, the NS10 is a joke. It's awful. Ugh. Hi, Ron. Hi, John. What is your best tube amp? What is the best tube amp that I've heard? The Manly Labs 300Bs and well, yeah, actually, the freaking snappers were insane. Different sound, different thing. But my deserted island tube amplifiers, they're behind me. And Manly, Ivana, I think she forgot about me. She hasn't asked for them back. Do not tell her that I still have her amps. I'll be very disappointed in you if you do that. Don't send that email. She'll be like, I think you asked for them back a while back. Didn't you get the FedEx? I don't know. UPS? No, they're not behind me, Ivana. They're not back there. GR research speakers are only around 90 dB sensitive. That's not true. Yet they provide great detail. Seems like you need higher sensitivity thoughts. Yeah, it's not true. Depends on the speaker. NX Atticas are 94 and a half, somewhere around there. So no. Yeah. You get higher sensitivity with some of the GR stuff. Some of the bookies, yeah. I mean, they're going to be, 89-ish, 90, somewhere in there. But the NX Atticas are like 94 and a half. Right on the button, actually. 90, I think they're 94 and a half. You need to get Manly to send you those 250-watt monoblocks. I know. And then move to Russia where they can't find me. Is there YouTube in Russia? Just do a little welcome back to New Record Day, Russia. I've got these nice monoblocks. Keep me warm. Yeah, totally. What if Ivana is watching now? Well, hi, Ivana. You're the best. high sensitive High sensitivity just means they're easier to drive. Yes, that is true. Yeah, actually that's a good point. It really doesn't have anything to do with clarity. I mean, they don't go hand in hand. Just because the speaker is easier to drive, that doesn't mean you're going to get more clarity out of the loudspeaker. That's not true. Not true. Have you heard the Manly Steelhead phono stage? No, I haven't. I would love to. Absolutely, I would love to. Ron, single tear falls. What did I say? What did I say that made you cry, Benny? You tell me. Hey, Ron, I have an NAD 638 C298. Listen to all sorts of jazz to rock at low to medium level. Will M3 Sapphires work with this? And do you know if they can be sent to Australia? I don't know. Australia is the question mark. Reach out to Clayton and ask him, John. And if you have the room for them, then the answer is yes. They'll be just fine with that. Absolutely. Most of my listening these days, as I get older, not that loud. 85, 90 dB peaks. That's loud enough for me. I don't need it. My 100 dB days are behind me. I'm also taking up knitting. So there's that. Man, Martin, you are on the ball. Yeah, talking about the adcoms. And I've actually had that exact same thing happen. Is if an electrolytic cap fails, then game over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not good. Not good. Um, Wondering if you have any opinions on the Apple HomePod. No, I don't. And HomePod Mini. No, I don't. Looking for an audiophile perspective. I should do a review of that stuff. That'd be kind of interesting. All caps fail. That is true. In the end, all caps will give up at some point. Thanks, Ron. Have a good day. Thank you. Take care. So, all right, guys. We just passed the 3-hour mark. Are we done? I think we're done. I need some water. I've been drinking this LaCroix, and it's filled with insecticides. So, I think we're done here. All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Consider Patreon. Consider it. Or don't. Just watch the videos. Tell your friends about them. Keep listening. Enjoy what you got. If you have any questions, reach out. Let me know. And yeah, as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.